What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody is having a great start to their week. Welcome to Wrestling with Reality. I am John, and of course, joining me as always is my partner, Mr. Richie Reardon. Richie, what's up, man? How's it going tonight, my friend?
I'm stuck in the quarantines, man. As Santino Morello once said on our show, stuck in the quarantines.
You got COVID for like the 90th time, right?
I got COVID for the fourth time. I'm a back-to-back champ, defeating COVID. Now I'm going to kick its ass again, but I wouldn't miss this show for the world, man, so I'm here tonight still. I look like an inmate. Haven't shaved my neck beard. I apologize. I look like shit, but hey, I'm here. So let's
We're
have
just
a good
glad
show
you're
tonight.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are just glad you're here, man. It's good to have you here. And it's good to have everybody else as well joining us tonight, as always. Let's see what we got. We got Jude here. He says, ready for a great discussion tonight. Raul Cologne. Nice to see you, Raul. He says it was an amazing event. Jeremy says, good evening, wrestling fans. John and Richie have a great show lined up for everybody tonight. Hope everyone's great. Fun fact of the night coming shortly. Fantastic wrestler. Never reached his full potential. Sid could have been much more. We'll talk about him in a little bit. I was watching paint dry instead. Way more entertaining than Daniel Bryan. High school homecoming king coronation.
Jason's coming with the heat already.
He is coming with the heat. Tonight's fun fact, Scott had 3 Intercontinental titles in 1 WWE title match at the Royal Rumble, but never made an appearance in the actual Rumble. Interesting.
Oh, shit. Didn't know
Very
that.
interesting. Very, very interesting. And tonight's show is going to be, we're going to break down AEW All In 2024 from Wembley Stadium. You actually watched this, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched it. I said I wasn't going to. I did. I didn't have much to do, so I figured I'd pop it on, peek my head in, see what they were doing over there. It was basically all of what we expected. There wasn't too many surprises. You know, we saw Ricochet. We saw all the things that we knew were going to happen. One of them we didn't get. We didn't get the Shane McMahon situation that we thought we were going to get. Not yet.
Not yet. Well, we'll break into it. We both watched it in full, so which was very surprising because neither of us ever do that for AEW anymore. So we both watched it in full, and we'll have some interesting discussions, I think, on the show tonight about AEW. We'll talk some modern topics as well, but we got to kick it off first by talking about the master, the ruler of the world, the one and only Sid Vicious passed away yesterday. Sid Udy passed away at 63 years old.
Man, I'll tell you what, one of the best big guys in the business. To me, you know, next to the jackknife powerbomb, Sid Vicious had the best powerbomb. You know, great big guy for the business, family man. People were making jokes about him playing softball yesterday. Nah, Sid Vicious was known for wrestling, man. Multiple-time world heavyweight champion. One of the greatest all time. Could have been much higher, as Drew said before. But, you know, he had a lot of problems in the back and stuff. He had problems with Arn Anderson. He had problems with Vince McMahon. You know, guy just didn't get along with people. He was a big, tough bastard. And, you know, you're not going to see eye to eye with everybody when you're one of the alpha males in the room.
You know, a lot of people said I watched some of Bischoff's breakdown of Sid, you know, because he knew him well, and other people, what they had said. They made an interesting thing because everybody always has the softball jokes about Sid, but a lot of people didn't realize that he was a huge family man, I guess. Yeah. And a lot of people say that softball was just kind of like the cover up for his family. That's why he kind of had those moments at certain points in time. He loved his family so much and wanted to be around them so much that, you know, he definitely had to bounce around a little bit and look out for the best interests of them. And that he's one of the few guys through the years that, you know, makes his casual appearances is what he would do, but he primarily was a family man. And a lot of people say that softball was kind of the analogy for what was, you know, really probably deemed as the time with his family. And that's what people really lauded him as, a true family man.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. You know, you hear all these wrestlers that were, you know, semi-close to him. I didn't really hear anybody that was actually very close to him.
PCO said he was his best friend in real life.
Well, that's cool. I didn't get to read what PCO said, but definitely on the other side of things, like, he suffered in silence, man. He was suffering from cancer and
brain cancer.
I heard was it brain cancer? Or
Conrad had mentioned, I don't know if it's true, but just we'll put that out there. But Conrad had mentioned that he had brain cancer for the last few years.
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
What a tough way to go, man. He suffered in silence and didn't really tell many people, man. A lot of people were shocked when they found out that's what he went from.
No, nobody knew. Like, there was nobody that was in like the wrestling bubble that, you know, knew that he had it or came out.
One thing I will like, I laughed about was somebody posted a video of him doing an interview recently, and it was basically him saying, you know, WWE needs to pull the trigger now, and and you get me in the Hall of Fame, so all my fans, they get to see me go in and stuff like that. And then he goes, and then if they want to sign me to a side deal where I can help people out, I always had a good promo. I couldn't help but laugh when he said that.
His promos sometimes were definitely left a little bit to be desired, wouldn't you say?
I think his promos were based off of Joe Biden.
All right, let's get to a couple of comments here. Loved Sid. He was my second favorite big man after The Undertaker. Jason said, you can't fault him. Family first before your job. Agreed. Jeremy said, I still cringe when I see that jackknife powerbomb on Pillman in War Games. Yeah. Jude said, I thought he was going to kill Pillman at that spot. Yeah, for those who don't remember, I think it was like 1991 or 1992 War Games, something like that.
We did a watch along on it.
Years ago. Yeah, we did it a couple years ago. And boy, he hits him and spikes him off the top, lands Pillman right down on his head, knocks him out cold, and then picks him up and does it again. 91, Jeremy said. Yeah, it was 91 because 92 was Dangerous Alliance. But I thought he freaking killed Pillman too. Yeah, Pillman was knocked out cold. Yeah,
that was the first time I saw it when you and I did the watch along, and
yeah,
man, that was a nasty, dirty powerbomb that he did there. And who else could forget his notorious scene in WCW where he jumped off the top rope and snapped his leg in half? Conor McGregor did.
A lot of people, that's their lasting memory of him at the end of his career.
Yeah.
So a lot of them, that's the biggest memory they have of Sid is that moment. But I'll tell you what some of my biggest moments with him was the crowd reactions he got in that MSG. I think it was the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series or something. And the reaction he got from that crowd when he destroyed Shawn Michaels and won that world championship from that.
Dude, he was an intimidating guy too. Like that guy was somebody you didn't want to be in a back alley with. Like he looked like he could mess
perfect looks for a wrestler, right?
Yeah, that was the guy right there, man. Yeah, he didn't need no crazy gimmicks or anything like that. He was the gimmick.
Jude said he said he was forced to do that spot. He didn't want to do it because his leg wouldn't hold up. Ooh, yeah. Derek said his rivalry with HBK from late 96 and early 97 is one of my favorites. Survivor Series 96 and Royal Rumble 97 were awesome. Yeah, and he was over like crazy. He main evented 2 WrestleManias. His one with Hogan, and I think the other one was with The Undertaker, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And, I mean, how many people can say they got the opportunity to get in there with a legend like The Undertaker, too? Bret Hart. This guy was in there with everybody, bro.
I just don't understand why WWE, if they can mend bridges with, Bret Hart and people that they've had like serious personal issues with and induct them in the Hall of Fame. If Jimmy Snuka can be in there after the shit that they found out about him, like, come on, man, bring Sid Vicious home, put him in that Hall of Fame.
I mean, he didn't do anything like awful and wrong to not be in it at all.
Right.
It's not like he held him up for money ever or anything like that. No. He just looked out for himself,
Right.
Sometimes if it was softball season, it was Sid would have injuries and wouldn't want to be there. So
exactly.
He never didn't fulfill his duties from anything that I can remember. I mean, yeah, like seriously, Jude said it right here. Coco Beware's in the Hall of Fame. Come on. I mean, Charmel is in there. All right. Yeah. Drew Carey is in there.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is in there.
Pete Rose.
Yeah. Pete Rose. I mean, we could just go down a list of people that, and you couldn't have Sid in there by now.
Come on, man.
I don't know what the beef was with them, Derek. Yeah. What was the beef with Sid and Vince? I don't know what the beef was with them, if there was one.
There was for sure. A lot of people talk about it. They just don't say the situation. From what I've heard, it was his spot on the card and stuff like that. And then, obviously showing up too was a problem in certain situations. I think he wanted some time off here and there. So that's what I read up on. So
there's some great stories. We might have to do that one we're going to do a Halloween Havoc month next month, Jeremy. We might have to check that one out for sure. Maybe I don't ever remember seeing that exact match. So yeah, it could be a definite good one for him there. Let's see. Jude also said he briefly talked about a problem with Sid, Vincent Hogan. Yeah, he just kind of got more. It seems like he would go away for a little bit and then stay home for a few months, do his thing. And then he would bounce around and he'd show up at another promotion for a while, he was always bouncing around between WCW, WWF, WWE, whatever you want to call it. He did his run in ECW once or twice as well. So he bounced around a lot. And
what was your favorite rendition of Sid?
Oh my God, Psycho Sid.
Psycho Sid?
Psycho Sid was the man. Sid Justice was great when he came in at that time because I remember it very, very well as a kid. because Hogan, of course, was my guy, and he went on to have that feud with him and everything. I love Sid Justice. I thought he was awesome. And then Sid Vicious was awesome in WCW to me, especially in the early 90s version of it. You know, he was always fantastic. Psycho Sid was great. He scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, everybody really thought he was a lunatic, you know?
Yeah, he was an intimidating guy.
His theme song was one of the most underappreciated ones ever. It's just, it fits so perfect for his character.
Right.
You know, and his power bomb was awesome too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeremy said something about it. He said Sean sold the power bomb for Sid better than anybody. Yeah. Somebody was there was something I was listening to that somebody was saying about Sid. They were really hurt up on their back, you know, and they had some injuries and some nagging injuries, and they were worried they were going to have to take Sid's power bomb from them. Yeah. And they were worried with their back injuries it was going to hurt so much. And then Sid, they said, was the softest person in the world. It was like getting dumped on a bed of flowers by him, that he was so easy when he dropped you. He tried to always protect you and do things. RVD told a story. That was RVD that actually said that one. And he told a story about how he worked in an enhancement match against him. And Sid gave him an extra $20, you know, at the end of the match, thanked him for what he did. So a lot of nice stories about Sid. What are some memories you have of him?
Sid Vicious, you know, same thing, man. When you would watch the old school Monday Night Raw and stuff like that, like he would always pop on there. He'd make the show. He was the big guy that everybody wanted to watch, man. I mean, like I said, you know, one of the best power bombs in business. That was one of my favorite moves that he did. And you know, the moment with Shawn Michaels that you were talking about, definitely that's what I always think of when I think of Sid Vicious, you know, when he demolished HBK in the prime of his career, you know. And so, you know, that was a big push for him at that time.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever lived up to his potential. You know, unfortunately, he joined WCW in a time that it was already kind of the ship had already sailed there. I think if he would have just came sooner, it would have definitely helped out. And I think he might have been a good person to put in the NWO at one point.
He could have been a great enforcer for them.
Yeah.
You know, he really could have been a great enforcer for them. I think he got kind of lost in the shuffle at points later on in his career. And, you know, he didn't do a lot of stuff in wrestling after the injury with his leg. I don't know how many times he got in the ring after, but I mean, I'm sure he would do an indie show here and there. He seems like a type of guy to me that would have lived within his means and would have been smart about things in the way that he handled it. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just, we've lost a lot of wrestling legends lately, man.
You're telling me it seems like as a whole, even outside of wrestling, we're losing a lot of people. So it's crazy. Unfortunately, we're losing a lot of people at a rapid rate.
Yeah. Sid and Barry Windham would have been good tag champs during the Horseman run. Very well could have been. No doubt about it. I mean, we've lost Afa. We've lost Sullivan, Kevin Sullivan, and then now him, Psycho Sid.
And then Sika too.
Look who's here.
Rewind.
The real GOAT of professional wrestling, the man who shaped pro wrestling into what it is today, the man who redefined the suplex for future generations, made us all cry when he helped his son bring home the FTW. Taz is the GOAT.
I knew he was going to celebrate that situation. I'm glad you tuned in, Rewind.
Did you think he was not going to?
Moment.
I was just about to make the call for him, you know, and he appeared even before we made the call. We hadn't heard from him yet.
There you go.
So, I mean, he's going to be in all of his glory tonight, as we talk about that match.
Is Hook still a one-eyed monster or what? I didn't.
We'll get into that.
That was a pee break match for me, man.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that one in a minute. So we're gonna. Oh, let's see. Hold on, here we got. Jason says, "Can we address the monkey in the room from last night? The Uncle Howdy match was downright awful, and they were dropping the ball on this.
Yeah.
The pop is gone. What's with that fucking wig they got going on?
I know it's not even dreads, man. It's like an actual like old lady wig. Like
what did they go to? Did they go to like fucking the discount wig mart for that?
They went to Spirit, the local Spirit store.
Yeah. Well, what is with that cheap shit? It's like this. Yeah. It's like the hair dye that Sting put in, the shoe polish that he put in his hair during All In. Why are they compromising on the parts of the most important thing? Their character.
I'm going to be honest with you that there was one of two ways that this was going to go. It was going to be really, really good or a really, really big, cheap ripoff of the Bray Wyatt situation. And I'm going to be honest with you. Bo Dallas is great on his own. That's why I wish they would have brought Uncle Howdy back on his own instead of this big group. Now they have all these moving parts in it. It would have been done so much better had it just been Bo Dallas. You know, that's just my opinion. Maybe people will disagree with that. I think that they didn't know what they were going to do with all them guys, and now you're stuck, you know? And so, unfortunately, this thing, the wheels have already fallen off of it.
What's going on? Rand says, hey, yo, Rich, put some respect on the future GOAT Hook. They are Tony Khan in this shit. They had a great opportunity, and they dropped the ball.
100%.
So it's been hot garbage for the most part. You know, people are waiting.
Sad.
Yeah,
it's sad.
that first
sad.
shocking thing that they did when we covered it, it was really cool.
It was badass.
I think we said in that, though, what do you do after this? You know,
you put him after Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's been feuding with Chad Gable for months now.
Yeah.
Shorty G. And I like Chad. He's a great worker. All right.
That's fine. But, you know, if you're trying to build something here, a stable, you don't go after Shorty freaking G. You know, like.
What about this Bronson Reed guy, man? He has come on, just been on fire over there on Raw, killing everybody.
God, I was seeing all these memes. It was like rest in peace, Braun Strowman and shit. And I'm like, no way.
Didn't Braun just come back from a broken back or some shit like that, or neck or whatever?
Well, I thought he actually died, so I was sitting there like I raced.
Dude, did you see like when the car, it was like an old caddy of some sorts? Yeah. Did you see when he hit it in the car?
Like spark.
Yeah, you know what that was?
What's that?
That was the headlamp.
Yeah, the headlamp.
Yeah, the headlamp on there. He hit that motherfucker so hard that the headlamp exploded on it.
Yeah, did you see the video I sent you? Somebody did a parody of it, and it was Sid Vicious coming out to his crushed car from Goldberg.
Yeah. People are really creative on the internet some days. Yeah. So, man, I was watching that. I mean, that guy's coming on strong. They're really building that Bronson Reed guy up as a gigantic heel at this point, which means they're going to probably bury him here real soon, and he's going to be on Karrion Kross level of some sorts, man. They're going to relegate him way down the crowd really fast. They just need him for a month or two to see. I hope they do more with him. He's got an interesting character.
You know, if I was to rebook the Wyatt Six thing, I would have had them go after Braun Strowman and destroy him. Yeah. That would have been the first opponent that I would have gone after.
Not Chad Gable.
Not Chad Gable.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have made a lot more sense. You know. Hey, Rewind. Remember when WWE champion Triple H buried ECW champion Taz in 2000? Remember when Taz was eliminated in 30 seconds in the Rumble, just ruffling some feathers? Serious note about before we continue, Jason Reed, aka Rewind. I watched your interview video with the guys twice. It was hilarious when you talked about your rough patches in life and how you dealt with them. Helped me with the real life situation. Thank you for putting yourself out there. Hey, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah,
man, that's awesome to hear. That's what we like when we hear that from an interview with somebody or when we're shooting the shit with them. Yeah. Great story that he had, man. You know.
Yeah, go check that episode out. We're gonna have to have a part 2 here real soon.
Oh man, no doubt about it. That light went harder than an explosion match with John Moxley.
That's not very hard to do. We're just gonna say that right now. Like they totally fucked that up.
That was the headlamp. I was trying to figure out what that was. That was some pro wrestling shit. So is Gable gonna join the Six? I have no clue, Jason. I don't.
If they do that, that's like Vince McMahon being the higher power. Get out of here.
Get if you're gonna bring somebody in, at least bring somebody really good in, not Shorty G.
It was me all along.
It was me all along. I'm God. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, they're killing it though.
They are.
In a bad way. It's sinking fast. It's Titanic level here soon. They might be Retribution level here real soon. I think some of the people are going to be getting best of luck in their future endeavor in the very near future if this doesn't pan out better.
Telling you, man, they had a great idea with bringing Uncle Howdy back. They had a horrible idea with the way they're executing this shit.
Cousin Shorty.
Cousin Shorty.
That would be interesting. All right, let's get into All In, though. All right, so tonight we're going to play it a little different, Richie, okay? So tonight we're going to go up against Dave Meltzer's ratings for this. So we're going to play a game in between the matches here with the audience. So no cheating yet because they're out there, and I don't remember them offhand, but
we're gonna guess his rating.
We are gonna guess what Dave Meltzer rated it after we talk about each match in this review tonight. So,
you can already say Will Ospreay is like a 20.
Oh, bro, wait, hold it. All right, we're gonna get there. We're gonna read. We're gonna get Dave's actual. Yeah, we're gonna get Dave's actual ratings on this. I saw this. And I think it was in Derek's group, the Pro Wrestling Takeover. Check them out on Facebook. Great group of guys, a lot of fun, and good people over there. Always great wrestling topics. They just hit their 3,000th member this week, so congratulations to those guys.
Absolutely. Dude.
So I saw this put up today in the Pro Wrestling Takeover group, and I think Derek was the one that posted it. and it's got all of Meltzer's ratings. I quickly glanced over it. I don't remember them offhand, so it was just a quick look, and I was like, we got to compare this on the show to what we think, because these were some ludicrous freaking ratings, crazy. So this is definitely one right here. Don't do drugs, kids, because Meltzer, I think, was on drugs during this when he wrote this, but we'll see. So we're going to compare against Dave Meltzer, and we're going to see where we're at. But we're going to talk about each match. We want to hear you guys' thoughts in there, and we'll do a little overtime segment later on. I'm not going to cover the, the pre-show or whatever it is. It just really didn't matter to me. So I did watch the whole show. Richie watched the whole show, and well, let's get into it. So first one was that trios match. What did you think of the trios match to kick it off?
It was good. It was what we expected, and I don't know. These trios matches, to me, I don't like them. Like the trios tag team belts have never been my thing. So, if I was to guess, are we guessing right now, or we're not doing that yet?
No, we're not doing it yet. So how does Dave do it? Rewind. Does he do a 4-star at best? No, sir. All right. Used to be 4 stars was the best for Dave Meltzer. Okay. So
I thought it was a 5-star. Oh, no, that was the joke, the 5-star. Yeah.
They have a 5. He's done 5 stars. He's done 6 stars, and he's done 7 stars. It was a 4-star system, and then Kenny Omega, I think.
Rob Van Dam invented his move.
Yeah, I think it was Kenny Omega that broke the 4-star rating. So, we've never seen higher than a 7-star. I don't think.
Was it with Tanahashi?
No, he's way bigger of a Will Ospreay fan. This guy, we'll talk about it later. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, 4-star was his best, Rewind, but he has gone up to as far as 7-star, but they're very, very, very rare. Okay. Jude, I'll go back to Jamie Hayter in just a second in the pre-show. That's a good point about that. So, but this trios match, I thought it was a fun match and everything like that, but they get too discombobulated for me. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I couldn't keep up with it at all. There was too much going on. That's the same thing I feel like. And that's in any promotion I've seen a trios tag title. It never freaking works because you can't keep up with the match. There's too much shit going on. If you're in the live crowd, I'm sure it's fun. But if you're watching it on TV, there's way too much going on. Yeah.
Good point here that Derek says 3 trios teams in a ladder match. That's 9 total guys. Too many. Way too much. And, all of these are talented people in their own right. Here they had the Patriarchy, Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. You had Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club, Yuta and Claudio, and then you had the House of Black, Malachi, Brody, and Buddy. I mean, those are all talented workers right there. Why is Pac in with the Blackpool Combat Club? Is he like a member of them now, or is he just helping them out once?
He was with the Lucha Bros.
That's what I thought. The Death Triangle was before or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch the show frequently.
Stop it. There's too much shit.
Yeah, there's too many factions there too. I'm giving this a fair shot tonight because I'm going to put over some things I don't put over much. I'm just saying, it's too confusing. There's too many people. There's too much going on in this show all the time. It had way too many matches for me too. And then you had people like Jude had mentioned earlier about Jamie Hayter. The girl that was your last champion and was doing tremendous for her, and I think she got hurt or something like that. They bring their ex-champion back who held it for a long-ass time and had a great run and was really getting over. And then they bring her back in the pre-show where nobody cares. And then they bring her out and she looks like big-time Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, there were so many people that were like, when you order big-time Becks from Temu and shit.
Yeah, she looks seriously like she ripped off Becky Lynch's just complete everything.
Yeah.
What strikes you as that is a good idea?
It's not a good idea. It looks like a look of desperation.
Seriously. And she was hot as hell with what she was doing before she was injured. So you bring her back to look like Temu Becks, like you said, and then you're bringing her in the pre-show, which makes nobody care. No. They got Paige and Soraya in the pre-show too. They have just buried her to the moon.
What is up with Paige? She has totally shit the bed over in AEW.
She might be one of the biggest flops of a signing. Seriously.
Oh my god! I was watching a match with her and Tony Storm.
Awful.
I sent you that, dude, and I was shocked. That's on some amateur. I'm turning off the TV shit. You
It
know,
was terrible.
it was bad.
Yeah, what has happened to her? She used to be great.
Yeah.
Boy, that curb appeal wore off fast with her. You don't even see her on the show half the time, from what I hear. And then if you do, she's doing some stupid thing. And then they had some thing with her in the press conference
Yeah, she's
afterwards.
throwing a damn fit and
Yeah,
like
she's throwing a hissy fit and shit and all this stuff. It looked terrible. So they need to get rid of that.
Not a good look for Paige.
No, they need to get rid of that fucking scrum too. That thing is the dumbest shit in the world when they do it. It is the goofiest crap
I
ever.
like it when WWE does it. They do a good production value and stuff like that, and they handle it really well, much like a UFC one. But yeah, you're totally right. Like, and I know we'll get to this in a little bit, but Tony Khan's comments too were totally embarrassing, man. It's like an ex-girlfriend. Like,
dude, he is pathetic,
horrible.
Man. You get Pac with the Blackpool Combat Club. That shows that the Lucha Bros are gone and heading to WWE. Yeah, they're done. Yeah. They're done. It was supposed to be Pac and the Lucha Bros, but they are rumored to go to WWE. Okay.
I hope they do.
She went on a cuss fit on the post show. It brought her whole family in trash. It was just bad, but I don't know. I mean, for an opener, this was okay. I mean, I'm going to give it because there was too much going on for me. What do you think? What do you guys think here? What do you think Meltzer ranked the trios match here? What are you thinking?
I think he's going to rank it a 4-star match.
All right, you're going with 4 stars. What would you rank this in your in Richie stars?
Let me take a sip of water. You go ahead and do yours. I gotta get my.
All right, for this one, I'm gonna give this one. I'll be generous here. I'm gonna give a Meltzer 3. I'm gonna give, for me, I'd say I'll give it 3 stars. But I'm saying for Meltzer on this one, oh, I gotta think for this one. Maybe about a 4. Yeah, I'm giving him a 4 on this. That Meltzer's doing it. What do you think?
It's hard because, again, like, you're watching it from home. I'm sure I would give it a higher score if I saw it in person. There was probably a lot of cool spots if I would have had a different angle or a different view of the match. But I got to go with like a 3, a 2, or a 3. It didn't really keep me that interested.
What do you think when you think Meltzer put it at a 4?
Yeah.
Okay. They don't have his listed on here for whatever reason. They don't have his listed. So I'm gonna think he went with a 4 on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's thinking he said that we had a 3.5. We had 4 stars. Yeah. I'm going to say he would have been a 4. I don't know why he didn't list it, but they didn't list it on here for him.
Meltzer always exaggerates.
Oh, well, wait till you see a few of these here. All right. Next match is going to be, let's see. Let's go to Mariah May and Toni Storm. I'll say this. I like Toni Storm as a character. I think she's phenomenal. I think she's really embraced this character. I think Mariah May has a big upside to her as well. And I think they both are fantastic talents. They had a great pairing with them from what I saw. But I got to say with this was an awful match. It was terrible. Awful. Yeah. I think they made the right move with putting the belt on Mariah May. But this match sucked. What happened to Toni Storm's in-ring work? It's terrible now.
That's what happens when you give these guys a limited schedule like that. Like, I know she's one of the more workhorses over there, but even so, like, you can totally tell that she's just dropping the ball. It's like that Paige match that you would think on paper, Paige versus Toni Storm would tear the house down.
Yeah.
Garbage, total garbage. Their women's division, for some reason over there, is just always been trash.
Yeah.
It's always been trash. That's the biggest complaint you and I have had since day one.
And it's not like they don't have talented performers there. They have some very talented performers for sure. So
it's just for whatever reason, they just shit the bed.
And I really do like both these characters. I think they have tremendous upside.
I think Toni Storm has taken this and ran with it, man. She's done really well.
Been one of the best things in wrestling watching her do this for the last year or so.
Yeah.
Kudos to her. I'm not putting 100%. Either of these performers as characters, as people down. I think they're both great. I just thought this match sucked. It had no heat in the match. They just didn't work. Toni's so sloppy in the ring now in a lot of ways because I think she's embraced that character so much. It's very goofy. I got to give this match 1 star for me. If I'm doing the Meltzer rating, for me, my rating's a 1 star. I'm going to think Meltzer, though, probably. I think he's got common sense on this, and I think Meltzer's going to go 2 stars on this one.
I think 2.
He's a wrestling guy. He's not a character guy.
I'll go 1 as well, but yeah, definitely. Meltzer gave it a 2. I guarantee it.
Okay. All right. So, what do you guys think in the comments? Jeremy's going to go 2.5 stars for Meltzer. All right, Meltzer surprises me here. 1.5 stars for Meltzer.
Yeah. Well, at least he recognized it sucked. When it sucks, it sucks, dude. You can't really fucking polish a turd. That was a turd.
Yep. Jude said it perfect right here. Build up for the match was great.
Match
Match
was
was
a
a
letdown.
letdown. And that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
And it
look
wouldn't
at Punk
make
versus McIntyre.
Yeah, it wouldn't make me not want to see them do this again. It didn't have that bad of effect to me. It's just didn't fit. So Jude said it great. Build up for the match was great. It was a letdown though in the actual match itself. Derek says this timeless Tony Storm character has jumped the shark to me. It's similar to Broken Matt Hardy. It's kind of taken on a life of its own, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we might offend people on the next one here. So if you get offended by talk of Taz and Hook right here,
this is the one, huh?
This is the one. You said you didn't see this match, right?
I was kidding. I watched it. I
Okay.
I was just trying to ruffle some feathers too.
Okay. What did you think of this? Hook versus Jericho for the FTW title.
This is the biggest problem I had with this whole pay-per-view. They just have too many title matches. It's taken the shine out of actually having a championship match. When you book it, every match is a title. Everybody's got an FTW title, a North American title, a South American title, a Chinese title, this or that. It's like, dude, come, let's make it a regular match. Doesn't need to have a title involved, whatever. I think the FTW title should not be involved in AEW whatsoever. It hasn't helped anybody. It hasn't helped anything. And it only made sense when Taz had it, So my opinion of this particular match, though, Hook did better than he normally does, in my opinion. I'm gonna give him his fair shake. This was one of the more entertaining matches in some of the spots that he had. That Hook has actually improved, and you can tell. And he actually hung with Jericho, which is saying something. Okay. My favorite spot was when Hook nailed the Taz mission, but then I started laughing my ass off because Taz went to do it, and he couldn't get his arm around the dude's throat to even complete the Taz mission.
Yeah, it definitely I knew it was coming. You could tell the whole match because they took Nigel McGuinness out on commentary, and they took McGuinness out, and we'd see what would happen with that later, which transitioned to something good later. But you knew when he was coming on commentary for this that he was going to interfere in this.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't see anything great about this match at all. I thought it was lame. I thought it was drawn out. I thought
it wasn't as bad as his previous matches, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It just wasn't there for me.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm not interested in this version of Jericho too. And I recognize this about Hook is that Hook does have a very nice sector of that audience that knows him, likes him, and digs this kid, and he resonates to a lot of the people, and I can respect that, and people like who they're gonna like. I just don't see it with him, I just don't see it with him. And Jericho with his latest gimmick, I get what he's doing and he's trying to do. It sucks. I had no interest in this match. This match went on too long for me. It just didn't do it. I'm going to give it, for me, a 2 stars, but
you gave that a 2?
Yeah. I thought it was real flat, man. Just didn't do it. So for that, I'm going to give it a 2. I think Meltzer probably scored this one, though. I bet you Meltzer scored it about a 3.5. So 2 for me, 3.5 for him.
I'm going to give this match a 3 because Hook shocked me with some things. He's really improved in the ring as far as being able to keep up with Jericho. I thought he was going to shit the bed in this match, and he actually did okay. I'm not saying he did great. I'm not saying it was a phenomenal match by Hook. I'm saying he did okay. He didn't do horrible. It was enough for me to watch the match from start to finish. But I will say the spot with Taz, man, they fucked that up so bad. Like, he couldn't even get his move completed.
Mac, my neighbor JJ is the best. Mac Jones still looks like a fucking Lego in a Jaguars uniform. Thanks, Jay. I love it. All right, Meltzer ranks this match. Wait for this, bro. What's your guess on Meltzer?
I'm going to say he did it a 4.
Okay. Meltzer gave this guy 4.5 stars for this match.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what he gave him.
He must love Jericho a lot.
Bro, Jericho must be giving him some great dirt throughout the years for them to be that good of friends, because I don't see that as a 4.5 star match. But hey, if that's what he's got, by all means, let's do it. All right.
Keep in mind, folks, his highest ranking used to be 4 stars.
Yeah.
So
4.5. So that's like match of the year candidate or something like that.
Yeah.
Like That's what he's giving up for it. There's his 4.5 is laughable. Rewind sent Dave money. He might have. He said, spruce this up a little bit for my boy.
Yeah.
He's
What
facing.
I want to know what Rewind gave that one.
He said 2.5 stars. Hook. He fought through. I think he means adversity. Had the goal help him. Hook has grown, but has room to grow.
You mean to tell me I talk all this shit about Hook and I gave him a higher score than you did?
Taz didn't need to get his arm around his throat. Just the bear hug alone would kill a man.
Oh, boy.
4 stars is Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart Iron Man match, not Hook and Jericho.
So Rewind, is Taz your Chuck Norris?
Ooh. Dude, Chuck's a bad dude. He might have learned the Taz mission though from Red Hook's own Taz.
Oh God.
And Hook's teaching it now, so bad news all the way around. All right, next match, Casino Gauntlet. All right. Let me put it over a little bit.
Okay.
Fun match. Really fun. It was just a huge spot fest though. Like that's all it was. It was a huge spot fest.
Well, it's their version of the Money in the Bank.
It was, but it went on way too long.
Yeah.
What was there, like 10 people in this or something?
People,
yeah, 10 people or something in this. Like it went on way too long. A lot of fun to watch though. So I enjoyed it. I'm glad
the right guy won the match
with Christian.
Yeah.
It was a great moment.
You had to go that direction.
100%. When they brought Christian out, I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it when they brought Christian out that's going to be his way probably to get the belt sometime soon.
Yeah.
So I loved a lot of the parts of the match, but it was just a spot fest. It didn't tell a great story. There wasn't a lot of great psychology in it to me. Right guy won it with Christian. I thought it was a great way they did it. I liked the booking of it. Great to see Ricochet. You know, I think it was great to see him. Did a good job. He got a decent reaction, I think, from the crowd. He was definitely energetic and going, but why would they not have him win this if they're going to bring him in as this big surprise for them? Why would they not have him win it?
I'm glad they didn't have him win it. I think he's going to be a TNT champion in no time. They'll probably put him over there, but I think they wasted his debut on it. I think Jude has a good point there. But you know what? He did have a good turnout. It was a good match. It wasn't horrible. This was one of my favorite matches on the card, the way they booked it. And like you said, there was no story. But they picked the right guy to win. You know, it's the guy I would have picked to win. Christian has been busting his ass with this character and stuff, and he's gotten it over to the moon and actually established a character in AEW when a lot of people can't do that and told a consistent story. Yeah. So, kudos to Christian. I hope he gets a title run out of this, man.
And they were teasing the whole thing with Luchasaurus turning on him and standing up for himself, and then Luchasaurus comes out and helps him get the victory at the end. Really good job. The performers in it did a fantastic job for the most part too. Like they really made it interesting and fun in their own way. So I give them a lot of credit for that. I'm going to give this match, if I'm looking at it from my perspective, I'm going to go for a 3.5 out of this one because I'm not going crazy. 4 stars is the best supposedly, even though he goes to 7. So for me, 3.5 stars. I'm going to say Meltzer gave this one, I'll say 4 stars for Meltzer for this one. So,
well, if we're going based off of 7 stars, then 4 stars is in the middle for me.
Okay.
So I got to go as far as the overall card, I got to say 4.5 stars. I got to say.
All right. What about Meltzer? What do you think he's giving?
Meltzer, I'm going to say he probably did a 5-star.
All right, Meltzer's surprising you here. Meltzer gave this 4 stars for this one.
Okay.
So he gave this one 4 stars. He was a fan of this, Wasn't his favorite, but he was a fan. So.
It was one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah, and how could we forget Nigel McGuinness coming out here? We'll talk about that.
Dude, that was such a beat. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. Thanks, guys, for reminding me of that. What's going on, Sean?
Excuse me. What's up, Sean?
Rand says OJ doing the best, doing the Mr. Bean and Double J, and the guy who left hurt from WWE arrived. Ricochet will be teaming with Hologram on Collision by the end of the year. Sean, once again, what's going on, buddy? Jeremy says Nigel got the great home pop. Think the match was a 5.3. Okay. Nigel McGuinness.
Jeremy gave that a 5.3.
That's what he's going with.
Nice, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it that much.
That's what he's got for it. Nigel coming out was the best part of that match. Hopefully we get Nigel and Bryan Danielson. Jeremy said definitely 6 stars for Rand. Nope. He gave it 4 for that. Great moment with Nigel coming out of retirement, Looks great.
That guy, I watched a documentary on him and how hard he struggled with not being able to wrestle. Did he have hepatitis or something
He
like
did.
that?
I think it was hepatitis C, if I remember correctly.
Thank God it was curable, and you could get it to where it's undetectable at least. But what a struggle he had to come back and everything like that, and what a moment for him personally. And you do it in front of your own home crowd. Like, I don't think you could have picked a better moment for him or a better, story moment in his career than to come back in his hometown like that.
And let's be realistic. This guy was a star, and
He was
he
up and
was one
coming
of
for sure.
yeah, he was one of the big kind of indie darlings, so to speak, that worked
Yeah.
his way around the world everywhere, and everybody would tape trade back in the day, but with his matches, Ring of Honor stuff. I think he was in PWG, just
He
all
was
the shit he did.
up, dude. Yeah, I mean,
He was on his path to being a huge star. I think maybe in WWE. He had a good run over in TNA for a while, and then I think he was going to go to WWE or something, and then got the hepatitis, something to the extent of that. Crazy stuff, man.
yeah,
Good to see him back.
It's a sad story, but you know what? It's got a great ending, and hopefully it's not the ending. Hopefully we get to see him, a couple more times here. Maybe we will get that dream match with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, very definitely could. I mean, maybe they'll lace it up one more time. I don't know much about their feud because I wasn't a Ring of Honor guy, but apparently, I guess they had some really great
They
feuds
tore the
with
house
you.
down. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm interested to see if they do something with it.
I would say he was Daniel Bryan. Like if you in comparison of feuds, it was like Samoa Joe with CM Punk.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, good for him, man. I'm really happy for him. I really am. A good moment for him. He's a great announcer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him. I know he was great up for WWE as well. He was great. He's been great with AEW. Guy's a really great all around talent. So,
Yeah.
Pac versus the American Dragon has coming to the land of Oz. Sean says, I thought Danielson was retiring. He said by the end of the year, Sean. So I think they're saying that Wrestle Dream will probably be it for him in October. I think it's from Tacoma or something.
Is that like their WrestleMania or is All In their big one?
All In's their big one. So yeah, All In's their big one. Wrestle Dream's like a new one. I think they had it last year. So, but it's I think it's in Tacoma, Washington this year, which is like around his hometown or something like that, or it is his hometown. So that's kind of where I think he'll probably retire at.
Smart.
That'd be my opinion. But Lawrence is here. Good day from
Good day,
Brisbane,
mate. We missed you
Queensland,
last one.
Australia. Yes, it's great to see you back. Apparently AEW is coming to Brisbane. If I'm still living in that area, may go see him. Yeah, they're coming back to do a card there next year too. It was one of those Grand Slams or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next match, though. Will Ospreay, MJF, take off on this one. What do you think?
I think it was very similar to their first one. They just tried to recreate it almost, and a lot of similar spots, a lot of the same stuff. Will Ospreay to me is like Ric Flair. He does the same match over and over again, man. And I'm glad it's over with some people. For me, it's not. I wasn't too excited about this match. I think MJF should be in the title picture right now. It's a shame that he's not. I think he should be on bigger things than Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay should have took on Ricochet for his debut in this match. I think it would have been incredible to do. So I think they made a mistake here. This is one of the missed opportunities, in my opinion. I think that MJF is being wasted. So I didn't care for the match too much. I felt like it was very similar to their first one. And if I was to give a rating, I'd probably give it a 2-star at best.
All right. I thought it was fun. I just thought it went on too long. And it was like
a lot of these matches go on too long.
So too many of them on this card. That was kind of the problem to me.
And it's a championship match every freaking fight. I mean,
it is, and I'll say this. I've never been a huge Ospreay guy. I'm not going to lie and say I haven't. I enjoy his stuff or anything like that.
Come on,
bruv. I find him as one of the cringiest characters on AEW, in my opinion. The guy is just he just doesn't.
He would have fit very well in the cruiserweight division in WCW.
Yeah. I just don't see the appeal of this guy.
I don't see much else.
I really don't. But some people love him, and he's the internet darling because Meltzer makes him out to be. I mean, it was a good match. I'll say that. It was a good match. It was a lot of fun to me to watch, but just went on too long. I love MJF embracing that American, coming out basically looking like Apollo Creed from Rocky in his getup.
That was cool.
Great heel that he is. And like you said, they tried to put on the same match. You can't replicate that 60-minute Iron Man match that you have. It was too quick to put it back on, you know, in my opinion. And then they have Daniel Garcia cost, MJF because of beating him up a few months ago or a couple months ago. Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do.
That's what they're going to do now with MJF.
Yeah.
He should be in the title picture all day long, man. That should be your top guy. Straight up.
Let's get to a couple of questions here. Sean, I'll get to that Sting one here in a minute. So let me just get to these guys. Love Daniel Bryan as the American Dragon in the 2000s on the Indies. Yep, a lot of people did too. The whole thing is this match was the reason why AEW will never succeed. MJF was the
For
US
a whole
champ for a whole commercial break. Yeah, and then flip flopping it around.
Yeah.
5 stars, 7 if it's in Tokyo Dome, bro. That's what Derek's going for Meltzer's rating. What do you think Meltzer gave this?
I'm gonna say because Meltzer is like Meltzer probably gave like a 12-star, a 10-star, or something ridiculous.
He's never gone above a 7, and he's
okay. He gave it a 7.5.
Okay. You think he's got a 7 on this one? He redefined it, dude. He loves this Ospreay guy, and I'll get into that in a second. Jude says all 15 of his finishers. Yeah, he's got a fucking million of them. Mm-hmm. Will Ospreay reminds me of Hayabusa, but isn't doing anything new for me. Even though I enjoy his stuff, it gets boring. Okay. MJF should be in the title picture. He should be the main man of AEW. Agreed. Yeah, dancing Daniel 100%. Garcia. MJF stocks continue to drop tragically.
It's probably the biggest tragedy in wrestling right now. Straight up. I mean,
Jeremy says my fandom of the winner will not allow me to speak on this. He loves Ospreay. This guy's his dude. Does. He does. He loves his.
Jeremy
Ospreay.
Probably gave it a 12.
Yeah. All right. So did I get my rating on this one for me? Okay. I'll give this a 4.5. So I think it was a 4.5 John Star level worthy for me. Meltzer, I gotta go with Meltzer's giving this one. He loves Ospreay.
It's a 7 all day.
This is gonna be. I'll give this one. This is a 5-star for Meltzer. So you're guessing 7 stars for this?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
Let's see what we got for Meltzer's rating here.
Probably a 6.
Bruv. 6 fucking stars, man.
Yeah.
This is a 6-star match.
This doesn't surprise me at all.
Wow.
Doesn't surprise me at all. That guy
6 stars.
That guy puts Ospreay over the freaking moon like he's the second coming of Shawn Michaels or something.
Jesus, 6 stars, man. Meltzer's jerking it good to this one. He must love Ospreay, and
that's why I don't pay attention to his shit, man.
Man, how biased can you be? I gave it a 5. That entrance was a 10. Very cool entrance. Yes,
very cool entrance.
Both of them, very cool entrances. Ospreay had a badass one that he came out to. Wow, 6 freaking stars. All right, fair enough. All right, next match: Mercedes Moné versus Dr. Britt Baker. DMD.
I can only say that I'm happy that this match is over with and in the past.
Awful. Feeble. Pathetic.
I don't even think it deserves a rating. Like, I would give it -2 if I could.
They were trying to get so much heat in this feud. And then Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné get together.
Britt Baker is the promo. Mercedes Moné is the wrestler. There's no like wrestler versus wrestler with promos here. Like neither
Baker ain't even that good of a promo. No, she's improved.
If you put them together, it's a star. But they're half. It's a half a wrestler with both of them.
What was this crap?
Horrible.
And it went on forever too. To me.
And they're paying a boatload of cash for Mercedes Moné.
She's getting they said. Cash. Yeah, the rumors are this chick is getting like $5 million a year, maybe even upwards of 10. They're saying.
Yeah,
she gets creative control. Apparently,
pretty scary.
I couldn't.
You're gonna tell me she's on the level of Hulk Hogan and needs creative control?
Jeez, $5 million. Dude, this match was the worst match on the card to me. It had no.
I don't think it was the worst match. I think the Tony Storm match was the worst match.
I think the Tony Storm match was way better than this because the backstory was better to me. It was more interesting, and that match sucked. This match to me, I'm giving this -1 stars for me.
I'll give it -2. I guarantee you, Meltzer gave it probably a 2.5.
Bruv.
Yeah.
Richie got that one spot on. I'll spoil that one right there. Yeah, 2.5 is what he gave that one. I'm giving it a -1. I would have guessed he would have probably been around there. Yeah.
I mean, it was that bad. It was.
Never put them together.
For the amount of money that they're paying for that woman.
Yeah.
It was trash. It's embarrassing.
Awful.
She should not be the champion of their division.
It was terrible. Bringing the franchise as a mentor for MJF.
God. Lawrence, I usually agree with you, man. Come on. That's been beat to a dead horse with the franchise.
The franchise.
Never was. He was never will be.
He was big time in ECW, bro.
Yeah, he needs to remain the dean in the history of the archives of wrestling.
My toilet was overflowing and I missed the whole match. Yeah, that was a shit match for this one. Jude
You
says
didn't
Monet
miss
is
much, man. You probably enjoyed taking the dump more than you would have
yeah.
watching this match.
Monet is raw dogging Tony's checkbook right now. Yeah, she sure is. She's
Jeez.
the worst. Mazda, Dinero, and Brie Bella 2.0.
God, good comparisons.
She'll be married to Tony Khan, Rand says, by the end of the year.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she marries his dad.
Maybe. This was the hot garbage spot, and DMD was paying tribute to Eddie. That was an awful tribute if she was paying to Eddie.
Please don't.
Dude, this is the best. People are burying Sasha in the comments here. Everybody's burying her. What's going on, Jay Northrop? Nice to see you. Sasha Banks is horrible. Hold on. Have Monet and Sable do a show. Some way that way you get your money's worth. Okay.
Oh boy. Family friendly here.
CEO sleeping with the TK. You think she's got rid of her man? Oh, wow. Hello, my friend. Checking back in from Tennessee. What's going on, Tim?
What's up, Tim? Nice ride in the picture, by the way, man. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that a while ago. Cool ride. Good to see you back, Tim. Rewind. Do people still read Meltzer? Yes, they do. They do.
He loves your boy Hook. He loves your boy Hook. Rewind.
Oh, they still do. People pay money to this con, man. Sean Fuller, what's going on? Negative 8 stars.
Sean's got the win there.
Don't talk about a Brock Lesnar's wife like that, Rewind says. He's such a gentleman, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Darby Allin.
He likes the older ladies, too. I bet
he does. He likes the Cougars. He's admitted that. Just don't make him get the punishment bowl.
You think Dude, we still need to set that segment up.
We will. We'll be setting it up with him. Let's move on, though, in the interest of time here to close out the show and time.
I think that match was the punishment bowl for sure.
Yeah, it might have been the punishment bowl for sure. What about Jack Perry, Darby Allin? What did you think of this?
Okay. A lot of people are going to give me a negative reaction to this. I think it was the best match of the night.
Okay.
I think it was the best match of the night. I loved it. Jack Perry's doing some cool shit. Darby Allin needs to slow it down a little bit.
Dude's going to break his back or kill himself in 5 years.
What were those in his face? Thumbtacks?
Yeah, he glued thumbtacks to his face.
In his face?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, the kid's got to slow down a little bit, you know? I thought it was a funny deal that Jack Perry did there when he dumped the glass out and stuff like that. Like, that was pretty hilarious. I got to give him that.
How's it feel being wrong, Richie?
About what?
Wrong about what, Jude? Hit us with that one.
Oh, that being the best match of the night?
Yeah.
It was the best match of the night.
All right. 7-star of Crimea River. Nothing wrong with women that are older if they like age, like wine. All right. Sting had no place coming out at all in this match.
And good God, like, what was that awful God haircut? He had done.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a second. Yeah, Jude says it was about this match being the best. So it was fun. I thought it was entertaining. I think they played well into it. Jack Perry's embracing.
Because I love Darby Allin. I'm trying to explain. I love Darby Allin. He's kind of like my Will Ospreay over there. You know, I root for that guy. He wrestled out here in all the Arizona local federations and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm kind of biased when it comes to a Darby Allin match.
What about Jack Perry? Is he improving for you?
He is. I like what he's done with the character. I like that he's doing the heel stuff. I think it's kind of embarrassing that they're still mentioning CM Punk this whole time.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, that's a bad look, but hey, he's made money off of it. So good for him.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying it for him, but this heel character that Jack Perry's got going on, it works for me.
It does.
He's a natural heel, and I never thought he would be.
He's one of the best home-built characters of AEW.
Yeah. Like, that's the story, not the CM Punk shit from there. That's the story.
He was so beloved being the Jungle Jack Perry, and then to turn it into what he is now, it's genius.
Good for him, man. I say it. I've never been a big fan, but hey, I'm saying good for him.
Yeah, that's one of the things they're doing right over there is Jack Perry.
He gets really good heel heat too. Yeah. So
I mean, we've buried this shit to the moon. That is one of the things they're doing right over there. Is Jack Perry.
People love Darby too, as Lorian says, 38 and wants to still do Stifler's mom. All right, loves Darby. Jay said,
"I really don't."
Sting should stay home. Rewind said. Rand said Sting's coming out, trying to do the Undertaker leg pop. Jay said he would be champ. Okay. Darby will be great if he doesn't kill himself first. Yeah, he's just got to slow it down on that
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I really hope he doesn't do the Mount Everest trip that he
Does
keeps
Sting
talking
have
about.
one more match in him? Sean says, no, I hope
God, I
not,
hope
Sean.
not. I
He
hope
got
not.
one of the greatest send-offs ever.
Yeah, you don't get that often, and then he got to do it with his sons. He had every rendition shown in his entrance. It was a perfect send-off, dude. Why would you want anything else?
Yeah, that's why Loran said, don't know why Sting had to return after all that retirement hype. Didn't make any sense to me either, to be honest
And
with you.
not only did he return, he did it not even a year after he retired.
Yeah. You know what would have made more sense for that? If you really wanted to make him do something different? Have Sting come out and save him from lighting him on fire. When he gets out, Sting does the heel turn, man, and nails Darby Allin. Sets
I don't
up
want to
something.
see that either.
If they're going to bring him out and keep doing that, they got to find something for him without putting him in the ring.
I wanted to see him light the damn casket on fire. I think it would have been better.
Probably would have been. He would have done it himself.
Spot. Yeah.
I just don't understand why they had to do it so early, though. Like, it was like, are you that desperate for a pop for something that 6 months after, you got to bring him back for this and then fly him over. And then the shoe polish stuff he put in his hair. Wow.
Oh my God.
That was awful.
That's worse than Rudy Giuliani's.
Yeah. So interesting.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly, with Borat when he's sweating it down off of him.
Yeah.
Got it all over. Yeah. Fun match though. So I'm going to give it, let's just say, for me, I'd give this one a 4.5 stars for my personal opinion. What do you think for your personal one on this?
This match, to me, being biased about Darby Allin, I'm giving it a 5.
Okay.
And the fact that they're doing Jack Perry right over there.
What do you think Meltzer gave him?
I'm going to say Meltzer gave him a 4, maybe a 3.5.
All right. Meltzer gave this one 5 stars.
Wow.
Okay. Meltzer's a fan. He likes it. We're pretty close to agreeing with him on that one. Final match. Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, AEW title. If Swerve wins, Bryan has to retire. What did you think?
I got to go, okay. I want to pose a question to the chat and stuff like this. Like, does anyone in here think that Swerve is a star or has the potential to be a star? And I want an honest answer. I'm not dogging the guy. I haven't watched much of his stuff. I've only watched leading up to this match. So, me personally, I'm going to say Swerve is a flash in the pan, Kofi Mania type champion. I don't think we'll ever see him in the title picture again.
Oh, hold on here. Rewind says, you like Darby Allin. You talk shit as much as you call Crash Wrestling. And he is a 2024 version of it. No massage for you, Richie.
Wait, hold on. When did I ever say that Crash Wrestling is, if it's done right?
No massage for you.
It's okay.
You've lost the.
I didn't want the massage to begin with. That's, I appreciate it.
Rewind. Pick. You can pick a new person now that Richie is disappointed.
You can massage John and his HBK.
Nope, I don't. Cool. I'm passing up on that. I can't. I'm
you can rub some oil on Jude's beard for him or whatever. Yep, it's cool.
He'll do it. Jude would probably enjoy the beard rub and everything. Rewind. So he's pissed at you, though.
I'm a fan of ECW as well.
I love Rewind.
Yeah.
So you're saying with Swerve, you don't see him as a star?
I don't. Does anybody? I'm being honest. Does anybody? Because what I saw in this story is solid worker.
Solid hand in the mic.
I loved him in Lucha Underground as Killshot. Thought he did a great job.
Stop pimping me out, guys. Jude says, "LOL."
It's that beard we're pimping out, baby. Not you, just the beard.
I think his presentation in AEW for Swerve was way better than they did in WWE for him, and they booked him as such. It took a while to get there, and I don't think he's a star, but I think he's a solid talent. I think he's a good guy, like that will make for some entertaining matches. But
so, do you think tag team division for him, or do you think he's a
no? He's a singles guy all day long.
Yeah.
He's an upper mid card guy to me, like that. He can be upper mid card, not main event though. Upper mid card. Yeah. Hands down. Could be in some really compelling stories, maybe leading a faction. Who knows? Like he did for a little bit. But I definitely don't dislike him. Sean says, who Swerve Strickland? That's what a lot of people are saying.
Thank you.
And I don't know. Daniel Bryan
won the freaking title from, not MJF.
That was the person that was almost going to retire him. I couldn't have seen. But I don't know. Danielson, never been one of my favorite guys at all. But phenomenal worker, great worker in the ring for the most part, in my opinion. I thought this was a really entertaining match between these two. I really think they did a good job with the psychology of it, at least. It doesn't change my opinion on Swerve in any way that I still don't think he's a star, but I think these guys did a hell of a great match with one another. I think it was entertaining. And the ending, I knew it was going to happen. They're going to set it up, and, he's going to go out in a few months, give him one last
Daniel
run.
Bryan, to me, this may be an unpopular opinion. Daniel Bryan, to me, is like the modern day Bret Hart. He's like, pissed off at WWE, doesn't feel he was treated right over there. He was the big fish in the small pond now in AEW. Like, I just feel like he's like the Bret Hart treatment over in AEW.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not doing it for me, man. I think Daniel Bryan needs to ride off in the sunset and not be as selfish as he's being. He's got a great family, stuff like that. The injuries, the risk that he has involved. His time's passed, man, and he's not accepting it. And it's like, just ride off in the sunset. You've done it all. You've done it all.
Just made millions of dollars doing it.
Yeah, you're taking a main event spot that should rightfully be somebody else's.
I saw this too, Derek. I'll get to that in just a second. So let me get to a couple of other of the responses here. Swerve can play the evil heel perfectly. I think if they get rid of the hype man, he can go to the moon as a heel. I would agree about him being a heel. I could see him being a great heel. Get rid of that Prince Nana dork. Just that guy.
Is that his name? Prince Nana?
Prince Nana. Okay. And he does that stupid dance, that he does. Yeah.
I saw that the whole match.
Get rid of this guy. Turn him full-fledged heel and just have him fucking decimate this guy. Line him up, clothesline from hell this guy right out of AEW and go monster heel, and he'll be a star to me. I'll change my mind then if he does it. Get rid of that guy, please.
Excuse me.
Loran says, I think Swerve's very talented. He just struggles with the lack of good storyline. If he's given good stuff, his great charisma would shine. Many people would agree with you, Lawrence. I definitely did a lot of fans of Swerve. Sean says Brian's beard for the Hall of Fame.
No, sure. not before Jude's.
Jude's got the perfect beard.
Yeah.
Let's be real. 100%. Swerve reminds me of Elijah Pope D'Angelo. Okay. I've heard some saying Danielson winning at All In is better than when he won at WrestleMania 30.
Oh, come on.
The kind of doofuses we have arguing about with wrestling. Let's get back to that in 1 second, Derek.
Oof.
Rest in peace, Sid. We became friends a year ago. He was a good friend. I talked with him on a live podcast not long ago, and I get a 10-bell salute. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to meet Sid. We talked about him earlier in the show, Tim, in the beginning, and gave him a little bit. So go back and rewatch it. Big fans here of Sid's work too, and
love Sid.
I'm glad you got an opportunity to be friends with him and stuff. So cool stuff, man. I'm sorry for your friend as well, and for his family, and condolences once again.
Yeah.
How could you think that this was better than Danielson's moment at WrestleMania 30? The Connor kid coming in at the end, the crowd was so behind him. Probably one of the loudest reactions you'll ever hear in wrestling history was when he won that. How could you say that this
how could we even react to a statement like that?
It's so ludicrous and dumb that somebody would think that. No way.
He freaking won at WrestleMania.
Yeah. WrestleMania 30 too. 30. Yeah. He had 2 matches on that card too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on. Get the God.
I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan, but that was a great moment for him.
Yeah.
I don't think you could top that. You're going to tell me winning the AEW title tops that? Absolutely not.
Michael Cole's call that he has on there when he wins it, the way that he just...
The one moment I will say that was cool is him getting to experience it with his kids. I'm sure that felt like a better moment for him. But in wrestling history aspect, dude, come on. All day long, WrestleMania.
Yeah. I would agree. I would definitely agree, but... Hey, God bless him. He's going strong for a couple more months, I'm sure. And for his fans, it was a great moment. I thought it was a really good match, and I think they did a really good job. I'm going to give it, what did I give it? 5 stars for this one. 5 stars for me, I'll say on this again. And what do you give it for your star rating before we get to our final Meltzer star?
So, excuse me, I'm hacking up a lung here. So, good match for sure. Didn't like the storyline leading up to it. Didn't like Prince Nana or whatever the hell that shit was. But, hey, solid match, man. And it's cool to see Killshot, Swerve Strickland, whatever you want to call him, doing well. I guess they made the right call. I don't know. I didn't really like Daniel Bryan going over on this. I think he should retire. I think Swerve Strickland, they made look like a jabroni by doing that. But, is what it is, man. I'll give it a solid 3.
Okay. Meltzer gave this match. What are you thinking he gave?
Meltzer gave this match a 5-star.
Okay, what do you guys in the audience think Meltzer gave this match before I reveal this? All right, let us know. I'm going to read a few of the comments here while you guys let us know what you think Meltzer picked for this. Derek says, I was at WrestleMania 30. That was amazing. The dorks think All In was better. Get out of here. Yes.
That's somebody that was there, you know?
Yes. Marvin Rogers says, y'all suck.
Thanks, Marvin.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks,
it, man.
Marvin.
Appreciate that, bro. Welcome to the show.
welcome, Marvin.
Yeah. Do you think the Taz is GOAT too?
There's something I could say to Marvin, but I'm going to leave it be. So I'll leave that one be.
Appreciate you, Marvin, for showing up.
Welcome. Good point. He said, Richie, maybe I was a bit too harsh on you. I'll still give you a nice rub down. Soft boy hands can help with COVID. No. Hey, goodbye, Sean said.
Yeah.
4 stars for Lawrence, or he gave a 0 star for him. No, Jeremy said he's got 6. 4.5 is what Tim's guessing.
Jeremy?
Marvin says, I was just joking, bro.
Hey, Marvin, welcome to the show, man.
We love jokes too, Marvin. We don't take it serious.
Sometimes. My voice definitely sucks tonight.
Richie's got the vid. He was just joking, though. Yeah. Appreciate it, Marvin, man. Welcome to the show, dude. Rewind's going 5.5 stars for Meltzer on this one. Shit. All right.
Like this match, man. Shit.
All right. So Dave Meltzer gave this 6.5 stars, bro. Can you fucking believe that? 6.5.
I can believe it. You know.
Yeah.
Dave gave it a 6 or 6.5.
6.5.
Jeremy's saying a 6.
No, he gave it a 6.5. Jeremy, I got it right here in front of me. 6.5.
It's interesting. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. That guy's always an exaggerator. He's always saying that these, ungodly matches are taking place, but it's the same shit we've seen before,
6.5 is Meltzer smoking the Ric Flair drip. I don't get it. 5-star I can see. It's great. Good match. Awesome. But 6.5 stars. The reason I included Meltzer in tonight was because did you see that Ospreay clip from the scrum?
No.
Okay. So there's a clip from the scrum where Ospreay's talking, and I guess Meltzer's standing up to be the one to ask him next. And then Ospreay,
was he rubbing his nipples while he asked him a question?
He freaks out in like a girlish way when she sees her crush for the first time, like the little schoolgirl crush. And he is just like screaming. He's like, Dave's here! Some shit like that. Or he's yelling, Meltzer! Yeah. He's all smiling and like he's fucking Conman 167 on his stream when there's a shocking moment. Bro, come on. What a bunch of fucking marks for this guy. You think this guy isn't impartial when you read those ratings that he gave? Come on.
Absolutely. And, I'll say another thing for the scrum, the parts that I did catch. Tony Khan is like an ex-girlfriend to CM Punk, dude. He will not leave this shit alone.
Bro.
And it's making you look worse every time you bring it up.
Bro, it's pathetic. We're in a much better spot than we were last year,
And you know who he's talking about, obviously.
And Perry brings out the glass in there too. Like they're gonna live this shit up with Punk
forever.
At the time. It's just like let it go. Stop being a spoiled ex-girlfriend.
He was there for a cup of coffee, man. He wasn't even there that long.
Bro, that hurt his feelings and shit that he called him those names and He
wanted CM Punk to be his star player.
That's exactly what it was, and CM Punk wasn't going to bow to him. So, I don't know. 6.5 stars for that last one. I don't know, but that's what Meltzer gave him. Dude is the most fucking has no integrity when it comes to things. He's on the payroll of this company.
Oh, 100%.
How can you give some of these ratings for that?
Dude.
Overall, I think it was a thumbs up show for them, but I'm just leaning in the middle more of it. So it's like one of those teetering thumbs up for me where I lean a little bit more towards the up. But I think it was just a really decent show. I don't think it was crazy. The crowd was very loud and good, but it was decent. It just wasn't anything spectacular to me. What do you think?
It's like a throwaway WWE pay-per-view. That's the quality that they had. It wasn't great. It was decent at best. Some of the matches kept me entertained all the way through, but there was definitely more bad than good, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. What did you guys think in the crowd? Was it a thumbs up or thumbs down, or more of in the middle for you? What are you guys thinking? I think it was decent, good, average stuff, some good moments, and let's see what they can build off with this, and what they're going to do now.
If that's like your Mac Daddy show and that's what you got, then I don't have high hopes for the rest of the year. I'll tell you that.
SummerSlam crushed this, Daryl, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
crushed it, no doubt about it. Crushed it, not even close.
Yeah.
And then they're running the new shows. All In next year is going to be in Arlington or something. And then they're giving Wembley Forbidden Door next year, or they didn't say Wembley, but they said England. Forbidden Door, they're doing
Seems like they have a lot bigger following out in England.
I don't know. I think they're just happy to see the wrestling, out there. And they've always been passionate fans. That I think they're just excited to come because they don't get it all the time.
Right.
That's my opinion. But, hey, they were a lively crowd. If they love him, great. Interesting moves that he's making, for the future.
Fuller gives it 2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs down, yeah. Rewind says, stop talking about CM Punk. Just focus on talking about Taz and the FTW title. Tony was dead right about the FTW belt and Taz. Jeremy's got to go. Let's see what Jeremy says here. He's zipping his lips. If you love it, great. Put it over. I'd never mind.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to hate on you for it.
Jude said, like I said, it was good, not great for your number 1 pay-per-view of your company. Agreed.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If this is the best my heart tonight.
You like what you like, man. I mean, if you loved it, man, I'm happy for you. You enjoyed it.
He loves Ospreay. So every time I don't put Ospreay over, he always gives me the guilt trip.
Yeah.
He's like, I know you don't like him, but he loves sport. I think Jeremy's a big sport fan.
How many times can you see the same shit from the guy?
Jude says not good. Rewind says it was a fun show overall. It's not a 6-star pay-per-view, but it was fun.
Rewind, I'm impressed that you watched it, man. I'm glad you're watching it. That's cool.
TK was probably a CM Punk fanboy before becoming a Money Mark promoter, and CM Punk didn't fit the fairy tale version.
CM dude.
Can't come out of your number 1 pay-per-view with a meh. Yeah. We buried WWE years ago when they did that at some of their WrestleManias. And we buried them with that. It was like, dude, that's your show of the year. That's your big money draw. And you can't put out crap. Same thing with this one. You got to really go overboard. I did like the production value on some things too on the show. I think they really try hard. There was a few times the cameraman was out of place in important spots, but overall, I think their production value.
That trios match was fucking awful for the camera.
There was a few, like I said, with the refs and the cameramen and everything. They didn't really guard it right. So just didn't guard it right. But I just didn't see it all the way. With some of their AEW, I can't see where they're going next on some of their stuff. I really
You never can because they're never consistent. That's why I don't watch it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the fun is to predict it, but coming out of a pay-per-view when you really can't make too many predictions off of it, I think they've done a little bit of a disservice to the fans on that because they got another show in like a week, another pay-per-view. He's going balls to the wall on these shows, man.
He shouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, can you really get adequate press
There's
in there?
no way he's making money, dude. There's no way.
No
but
way.
You know what? There is breaking news. Well, not breaking news. I don't know if this is a shock to anybody, but they were offered double what their contract is now at WB from what I've read.
I haven't heard that.
I heard that it's 70 mil or something like that.
I heard it was the exact same amount that they were offered for their first one. So they were offering them the same thing. That's what the talk was. I don't know about an offer, but talking about it. So
yeah,
Punk is still the biggest star in both companies. Yeah, he definitely is still
I'm a traveling fan. He's I think he waited too long to come back. I'll say that.
Yeah, Jeremy says he likes Ospreay because of the autism thing, because of his son and everything. So yeah, Ospreay's undiagnosed with it, but he said that he he believes that he might have autism. He said that in the past. He's undiagnosed, but he has said that. So no, I can understand definitely why you like him. Some people love the dude, man. They think it's great. They love the gimmick.
If you like that style, man, it's
go in on it.
There's not a lot of people that say Vampiro's their favorite wrestler. He's my favorite wrestler.
Yep.
So it's just an acquired taste, man.
I say your Roman Reigns came back and now he's flipped the script on the one who caused his brothers and the family. Yeah, it's elite. It's good stuff. If it's not all elite production, it's elite wrestling. Yeah. See, Roman came back and flipped the script. Okay, let's read that one. Rewind says the production value and walkouts were dope. I love the long ramp. I do like the ramp of there. That's got to take a fucking bit to get down from that.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
how far they come down.
Yeah.
Wembley's a really cool venue. Just got to throw that out there.
I think as far as stages go, AEW does a pretty good stage.
They do,
you know, even on the regular show.
Yeah, I think they do phenomenal on that stuff.
Yeah.
He puts the money into the product as best as he can. You know,
Mhm.
he's got more money than he will ever know what to do with. So.
It's not the production value that, I mean, they're missing it on some points, but it's not the production value they're missing it on. It's the consistency of their stories. It's the consistency of their characters. It's, you know, it's the stop, start, rewind shit that they do, or, you know,
somebody
you're
disappears off TV for fucking another
out of
year.
nowhere. Yeah. Out of nowhere. Or, you know, you'll have like a faction and, you know, all of a sudden it's broken up and there's no rhyme or reason why they broke up. You know, like I it's too hard to follow.
AEW should Jericho another title run. All right. Here's the thing with WWE and CW. CW is not carried by DirecTV. Brand Vampiro guy for you. Yeah, the CW stuff, it's never been a really great network at all. That's for sure. You know, it gets some eyeballs on them, I'm sure, but not a really great pick there. It's All In next year not being at Wembley, a sign that WWE made a deal to have WrestleMania. I think so, Derek. I think that they are going to do a WrestleMania there in the near future, and I think they might try to block them out. Whether they can or can't, I don't know.
Well, they can. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
If WWE calls and says they're going to give you the biggest show of their season, like they're going to take WWE over AEW. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So I think it's definitely a telling sign of something that might have happened. I mean, look at all the problems WCW had when they tried to run up in the North and like Vince's care and
got their ass kicked out of there quicker than shit.
Yeah.
And they have even more power now.
Yeah. So interesting stuff, you know. It's very interesting stuff to see where they why they're not going to be in Wembley next year. If this is your big show, then why the hell are you not going to run it there every year? Did they get blocked? Did they not sell enough? Did they lose money on this? I mean, do you think they made money on this pay-per-view?
I think that if they made money off of any show, it had to have been this one. You know, if they've made money off of any show all year long, it had to have been this one. But I don't think they did. I don't think he's making money at all. I think he's hemorrhaging money into this product.
Yeah, I mean, and him hemorrhaging money, he doesn't need shit. So he can keep dumping this in as long as his daddy's going to let him.
Right.
But I'll tell you, you know, Lawrence too, Aussies, the overseas crowds, man, they are hyped when they get it. They show up every time. They are loud. They are fun.
I think that'd be a good look for AEW because you notice in the States, nobody shows up for their shows. The second they go overseas, they sell out.
Interesting stuff, right? WWF back in the day used to use the international tours to spark up revenue things for them because they knew they would sell out so well. So they would typically do it. I think it was like right after WrestleManias in the early days, and they would head out to England. It was a big revenue generator for them. These markets over in Europe, you know, Australia, England, wherever, Japan, wherever they're going, big money markets for them. And these fans show up. So God bless them for it. And it adds a big element to it. So that's a big element. Let's see. Jude says if they did make money, it'll be gone in a month. Yeah, probably.
100%. It'll be on Mercedes Monet's private jet.
Oh, yeah, I agree. All right, guys, let's take a quick break for about, say, 5 to 10 minutes. Let's get a little bathroom break in here. Then we will go right on into overtime. Does that sound good for you, Rich?
Oh, absolutely, man. I can go all night.
All right, guys. We'll say 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be back here. So I'm going to put the sign up, a little background music on for you. Hang tight. We'll be right back, and we're going to go into overtime. We'll send out a link, and anybody wants to come on, you're more than welcome to. So we'll be back in about 5 to 10, everybody. All right, everybody, we're back. We're back. Richie, what's going on, man? Richie, you're muted, buddy.
I don't see us on the picture, my man.
There we go.
There we are.
There we go.
Johnny podcasting had to take a poo break.
Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. I made this banging mozzarella meatloaf tonight.
Oh, you didn't poop at all then. Mozzarella? That'll clog you up.
Nah, cheese doesn't do it for me.
Yep.
Mozzarella meatloaf, though, man. Are you a meatloaf fan?
I love meatloaf.
My daughter's boyfriend, man, he glommed that shit down. He loved it. My son, he had 2 big helpings of it. Good stuff. So,
Nice.
yeah, makes you have to have a little bathroom break. But
Yeah.
we're going to go into overtime, everybody. We're going to use this for Sunday's radio episode. So I'll do a quick intro for it. Everybody got another 45 minutes or so left in them, and we'll go for overtime for about 45, 50 minutes. You got it in you, Richie?
I got it in me, brother.
All right. So if you guys got that in you, we got it in us, and we're ready to go. So I'm just going to do the radio intro. So just bear with me on it, and we'll get going now. All right, everybody, welcome to Wrestling with Reality. I am your host, John Whalen, and joining me as always is my partner, my co-host, the man, Richie Reardon, the man who's battling COVID right now, kicking its butt. How you doing, my friend?
Doing okay, man. Feeling a little rough tonight, but I wouldn't miss this for the world. We have fun here, man, so I can't miss it. Even if I was on life support, I told you I'll still be here.
Oh, absolutely. We had a great time on yesterday's episode where we broke down the All In pay-per-view this year. All the great listeners gave their opinion and advice, and we compared it against the Dave Meltzer rating system, the infamous Meltzer system. So we had a great time doing it. Sorry if you were listening on radio, if it cut off at a certain point. We went a little long on it, and unfortunately, we only get 58 minutes of airtime, and the radio has to be strict about it due to the other shows. So we went a little over time, but you can check out the rest of it on there on our YouTube or our Facebook. Just check it out, Wrestling with Reality, and you guys can see what you might have missed us talking about the Danielson and Swerve match. But tonight, it's going to be a round table that we're going to do. We're going to let you guys have your voice on whatever you want to talk about tonight. We might have a couple of topics that have caught our interest in the news, but we want to hear yours. So if you're watching live with us now, I'm going to put in the chat a link that you can click on if you want to come on and join us. If you want to come on and join us, great. If you don't, no worries. Just type in anything you want in the comment section. But I'll throw this link out in just 1 second. But just try, if you're going to come on, just try to have good audio so we can hear you good enough and everything like that. And that way it comes out good. And we'll bring everybody on. You want to do like a round table tonight, Richie?
Yeah, we can do a round table. It's fine.
Okay, so we can do a round table, bring on anybody that wants to come on and join us. So I just put the link in the chat, everybody, so you can click on the link if you want to come in and join us and talk to us, hang out, whatever's on your mind, just think about it, and we'll have some fun discussing it. What's on your mind while we get everybody loaded up?
I got a question for everybody in the chat and everything like that. I was listening. This is one of the very few times I've listened to the Impulsive podcast. It's because The Undertaker was on there. And actually, he's looking for one more match, which is kind of shocking to me. I thought he was pretty at peace with not being in the ring. Myself, I wouldn't mind seeing it again as long as it's like a squash match, like the Cena thing, or if it was done like the AJ Styles. But you know what? That AJ Styles match was done so well.
The cinematic one they have.
Yeah, he rode off in the sunset. Me and you put that over to the moon when we saw it because we thought it was going to be the drizzling shits, and that one in the Bray Wyatt match. God, they knocked that out of the park, man. I don't know of a better send off than that with the Undertaker, unless you did the Sting match. But that ship has sailed.
So you don't want to see him come back and do it again?
I want to see him come back if the stars align right, if it makes sense. But there's nobody in the industry right now, unless he does something for to get Uncle Howdy over or something like that. I can't really think of a reason for him to come back or something that makes sense.
Yeah.
I see Stone Cold versus CM Punk. That would be something I would want to see if you're bringing somebody like that back, or The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I don't see a spot for The Undertaker right now. I think he should just stay where he's at. That was the best written story of him riding off on his bike in the sunset.
Have no reason that I want to see Undertaker come back and wrestle another match for me. There's no reason for it. I have no willingness to want to see it. I love and respect the Undertaker. He had such a great send off and end of his career. I just don't want to see him back. And he's an older guy now, and he wasn't working too good at the end. But I don't want to see him back. I don't want to see him come back and do it. Look how it worked out for Shawn Michaels. It's something people want to forget.
Just leave it alone.
And
the thing of it is too, like, I think his thing about it is he didn't have his last match in front of a crowd because it was during the COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's always bothered him that it wasn't in front of a crowd. He wanted to have that walkout moment. But hey, you know what? You had one of the greatest cinematic matches of all time, and it was badass, and it was expected to fail, and they knocked it out of the park. So just leave it alone.
Yeah. Well, I hope he definitely stays put, in my opinion. I don't want to see it again. I mean, yeah, Sean just said here we had Undertaker Dory Funk Jr. Dory had his
death my God
83 this weekend.
God bless him, dude.
Crazy, Jesus. Right?
That was just stupidity.
Just wild, man.
Whoever booked that better have some heavy insurance.
Wow. He made it through it, though.
God bless him.
God bless him.
Stupid.
All right, welcome. Let's welcome to the show tonight. First off, we got from wonderful Brisbane, Australia, Queensland, Mr. Laza Johnson. Laza, how's it going, mate? Good to see you.
Yeah, pretty good. Yourselves?
Doing great. I really enjoyed the pictures of those little ones that you sent me the other day, of the little baby kangaroos.
Yeah, I thought wallabies, and then I had someone correct me. I think they're Eastern grey kangaroos.
Ooh.
Laza
sent me a bird's eye view of what he has for scenery right out near his house every day, and it was cool as shit.
I think it's badass when you say wallaby.
Yeah, say wallaby again for us. Give us.
Yeah, I thought wallabies, but I think they're Eastern grey kangaroos. Yeah, you don't see them that often. Like, I was seeing kangaroos at the golf course, but I happened to be walking past. I was actually outskirts of Brisbane like an hour or so, and I actually saw them. And I'm like, what? Blackjack Laza.
We're gonna nickname him that now. That's gonna stick.
Blackjack
Laza Dundee.
There you go. Well, I love the pictures, man. I'm glad to have you on tonight. We also have with us joining us right now the one and only Mr. Jude, our winner from last week.
Best beard in the business.
Best beard in the business. The trivia legend himself that kicked everybody's ass last week and is the champion of trivia right now. So, Jude, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you tonight?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
It's Tuesday
with
night.
That COVID.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just a glorified fucking flu, so I'll be all right.
You guys should have seen him last night. He was like foaming at the mouth because he was not feeling well. And we were taping our other show last night for the episode on Sunday. We had plans to do it, and Richie's wife wanted to make sure he was resting and taking it easy. So I'm gonna dime him out here. She was worried about him and wanted him to rest and take it easy and take the night off, and so did I. And he ended up like a champ, and the thoroughbred that he is came on, and we rocked out a fun episode that will air this Sunday.
Absolutely.
But he broke the rules of his wife. Can you guys believe that? Jude, you've been married for a long time, right?
Yeah, you don't.
I've been married twice.
Okay.
So yeah.
Ladies, man,
I did what Richie did on the first one. So it didn't so well.
Yeah.
So no, my wife, my current wife, we've been together longer, and she's phenomenal. She puts up with me, and I am not the easiest person in the world to get along with.
Neither.
So I don't listen. I don't do that listening shit real well. So
hey, join the club on it right there.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Curvin Abrius. What are you guys thinking about wrestling all day, every day? Go do something else fun for your whole life. Revolve around wrestling.
Thanks, Curvin. Appreciate you, man. Welcome.
Oh, he has done a little change here in the spelling. Whole life revolve around wrestling. Whole life revolves around wrestling. Does it? Yeah, does your whole life revolve around wrestling, Richie?
I'd pick on him, but it looks like he's a Miami Heat fan, so life's doing it on their own.
Yeah, life's doing it on your own.
Yeah.
All right, man. We understand. Perfect. Welcome to the show, anyways. You're watching it, so we appreciate you wasting your time with wrestling as well.
You're here, buddy.
Look who's here right now. Rewind's here.
Rewind is in the building.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
What's going on there, Rewind? How's it going?
You're here to waste your time with wrestling too, huh?
Yep, like I should join the chat too. You know, conversation.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Come on in. Let's talk about Taz.
He doesn't have a profile pic. There's probably a reason for that.
YouTube.
His name is Curvin.
Curvin.
Yeah, instead of wrestling, maybe we should waste our time masturbating or something.
Oh, that's what he's doing right now, bro.
For the Wallabies.
Santa? What the fuck does that mean? All right, Curvin, welcome, my friend.
Santa? Oh, for me?
I guess, yeah.
Dude, don't be disrespecting Jude's
Bro,
beard.
Jude's like the nice one. He's just sitting here.
Hey.
He's not bagging on you, dude.
I look at it this way. This guy's just jealous because I know where all the dirty girls are. If I'm Santa,
That's right.
Jesus. Our running bet since we did Meltzer on the last show. What's the running bet that Curvin has consensual sex with somebody without paying for it?
Curvin, you better be careful, man. We're gonna send Rewind your way with some lotion.
No, he might have
All day,
coupons.
buddy.
All day. He's got the punishment bowl. You're gonna get 5 swats.
Wrong spot to be a dick here, Curvin, because you got a lot of people that are going to light you up pretty bad right now. But we've had enough fun with Curvin right now. Yes, 100%. Jeremy, I'll give me a few minutes and I'll send that over. I can't do it right from my computer right now, so I'll try to get and multitask that in just a second, and I'll in just a few minutes. So, doing Rewind's dating life podcast.
It's gonna be a segment here real soon, Sean. We're getting.
I had a date yesterday, actually.
Nice, dude.
Fellas, do you guys
What
want to
was
hear
his
about the
name?
date?
What was his name? How many swats out of the punishment bowl?
No, it's not. We're not gonna have a second date. She was quiet. New to the lifestyle, quiet.
New to the lifestyle. Did you meet her on FetLife?
Yes, Fat. Yeah.
Oh,
Felt like
I thought he was going to DomCon.
King Fest.
Farmersonly.com.
Yeah. So
Christian Mingle.
So she was very quiet. Rewind. Is there going to be another? Is it going to be another date with her anytime soon?
No. So I did a FaceTime call for Saturday night. It went well. So I messaged her and I said, "What are you into? What are you looking for?" And she's like, "I'm looking sort of for a DS relationship." She thinks, but she wasn't sure. But she's like, "I like my man to take what he wants when he wants." And then we sort of went from there down there. And then I called her, or we did a FaceTime call yesterday. We talked for like 10, 15 minutes. She was cool, quiet, not exactly sure what she's want. Just got divorced, and I think her husband found someone.
Did he fall off a cliff as well?
If you guys don't understand the context of it, you have to go listen to the interview with Rewind from Random Conversations. Look it up. It's Tales from the Truck. The Legend of Rewind is the title of the episode. He tells the story about the poor. I'm not even gonna go to the goal. Go listen.
Go listen to it.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Yeah.
Not ruin shit. Go check it out. It's worth it for this story alone.
Great. Kirby,
So-
go check that out, man.
Yeah. So Rewind had another. Dude, this guy's getting all the babes, man.
I guess I might take a break. I don't know, dude. We'll see what happens. I'm getting burnt out, man. Getting burnt out.
We should have like dating tips with Rewind on here. He's a lot of, you know.
I don't know maybe the best thing to do, but I know what not to do.
There we go. All right.
He's the big Valboski.
Good, solid advice. Well, it's great to see
That
you
whole
tonight.
take what you want when you want it thing will get you 5 to 20. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I wish I don't have my phone with me. I'd read the text she sent me.
Oh, boy.
Did she send you like a book or something?
No, I just remember message back and forth before we set up a FaceTime call.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't worry about the messages. Send the pictures.
Yeah.
Be a fly on the wall in that room.
Another time, dude.
Yeah.
If this wasn't live, I want to see the babes that Rewind is dating. I want to see pictures, but I couldn't put it up on air, so we couldn't do it. But
Yeah.
I bet you he's out there.
Tatted up cougars from what I hear.
Bro, he loves Linda McMahon.
Dude, who doesn't love her, dude? Nice 70-year-old woman, perfect curves. Dude, you know what's going on. You love her too, huh? You too, Richie? You love her, right?
Rewind goes to bed every night listening to the Linda McMahon theme song, the old WrestleMania theme song.
I got a picture above my bed, you know.
Oh yeah,
dude.
He's got
I
all
didn't send that to you, bro.
This wet dream is brought to you by Depends.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, right. And Blue Chew.
Right.
Don't need
All
that
right.
yet.
Great Rewind, great to see you. Jude, I'm going to go to you first. What's on your mind tonight for some wrestling chat, buddy?
You know, like I said in the chat whenever we were talking about All In, it's the downfall of MJF. Like when he came back, I was excited. You know, I was expecting them to do something big with him to make him just, you know, he's back. You know, he got that. It was like Tony Khan gave him the Triple H return treatment, even put him in the jacket and everything.
I was gonna say he wore the
because
same.
you know they were thinking that, and now like it's fallen flat on his face. You know, there's been nothing done with him. The whole U.S. champ thing, like I said, he was U.S. champ for like a commercial break. You know, like you
He's being
built up
criminally
this
misused,
big,
man.
yeah. I mean, you built up this big pomp and circumstance. You know, with all of this stuff, with him being this champion, and I'm the U.S. champion, and everything, and then now it's done. And here's my question: like, where do you go with him?
Where do you go? You've
You know,
already taken
where
his
do you-
stock away from him.
Because I mean, Will Ospreay has a match on Collision this week with like a no name. I mean, or no, he's got a match at All Out. I just saw
it's like a 6-man match or something like that he's in, I think.
No, it's a singles. It's a
Oh,
singles
it is?
match. I forget who it's with though. I just had it. But it's not like anybody like you'd expect him to be into like a big time match or anything like that. And it's fallen flat. Like I mean, I don't see where they're going with it. You know, and it adds to what I said a couple podcasts ago was his stock is dropping
Big time.
You know, I mean, it's just dropping like a rock. Like, you know, whenever we did the fantasy booking, we were like, oh man, MJF versus this person, MJF versus that person. And now it's kind of like MJF, maybe
What
against this person.
would you do with him, Jude? What would you do with him to fix it?
At this point, I would take him off air for about a month. I would
reset him a
I
little
would
bit.
hit the reset button. Yeah.
He's
I would
gotta
hit
be
the
in
reset
title
button with
picture.
him. No. I want to put him in the title picture. Here's the thing. They've like if you look at the whole MJF thing for a while now, they did the whole devil thing with Adam Cole, and that shit the bed because where's Adam Cole at?
I think Britt Baker just dumped him too.
Yeah. There is hot rumors that him and her are no longer together. There's actually rumors out there that she and Swerve.
Woo.
So, I mean, her and
Gotta
Swerve
get
were
the
at.
delegation involved on this one.
They were at Steel City Con, which is the Comic-Con in Pittsburgh, together, and they got pictures of them being kind of chummy with each other.
Ooh.
So there's rumors of that. But like with the MJF thing, like that, nothing happened with that.
Yeah.
You could have at least put the Undisputed Kingdom or whatever the hell they're called and had them kind of chase after MJF or have MJF kind of just take them out and keep him away from Adam Cole if Adam Cole can't wrestle. Adam Cole can't wrestle. You know, he's injured and they don't even know if he's going to be able to ever wrestle again because his foot is so bad.
His foot. Okay.
It's his foot and ankle. It's so bad.
Didn't he snap his ankle in half in one of the matches and work through it or something?
He worked through it, yeah.
Gotcha.
But like putting him in the title picture right now with Daniel Bryan makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right now. Like you can't after him losing against Will Ospreay and everything that he's like this whole Daniel Garcia thing, which I think is a joke with putting him against Daniel Garcia because it doesn't do anything for either one of them.
I don't think MJF should have been involved in any of the stuff that he's been in since he's been back.
No, I don't think he. Here's the thing: you could put him in with Will Ospreay, but you have it. You do a series of matches. You don't do a one-off. You know the one-off thing does nothing for either one of them. I would seriously. I would have liked to have seen MJF come in with FTR and go against the Elite. I think that would make a little bit more sense because MJF's the AEW guy.
Who's the face?
Who's the face? Oh, I would put MJF as a face. I would have kept him as a face. Because here's the thing. MJF's that guy where you don't know if he's a heel or a face, but the crowd's behind him regardless.
Okay.
So, you know, you could keep him a heel. And he could put over a heel promo and the crowd's going to cheer for him.
Mhm.
You know, like whenever he comes out, he goes, you know, I'm a son of a bitch.
Mhm.
And the crowd cheers for him and says, yeah, you're a son of a bitch. Yeah. You can put him with FTR, because here's the thing with FTR. I think AEW is dropping the ball on FTR right now. And I think that if they don't pick it up quick, they're going to lose the momentum with FTR. I think FTR is over with the crowd. They're great wrestlers. They're great on the mic. I would push FTR with MJF against the Elite. You can even throw a fourth person in there,
Mhm.
you know, to kind of fill it like a 4-4 with Jack Perry, which I still don't like Jack Perry. I think
He didn't win you over yet.
he has. Here's my thing with Jack Perry. I think Jack Perry is the Dominic Mysterio of AEW right now.
He's their version. Yep.
That's a good pickup.
You know, I think Dominic Mysterio has so much heat with the crowd. I still don't think he's great in the ring at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think his wrestling skills are mediocre at best. I think Jack Perry is in the same boat. You know, Jack Perry right now is living off the CM Punk rub.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's all he's working off. If you're not cheering for him because of his in-ring work, you know, you're not. You're not cheering for him because, oh, Jungle Boy's a badass now. No. You know, it's
Jungle Boy's a badass.
You know, it's oh, well, he brought out Real Glass. Because if you watch that match, when he dumped the Real Glass in the ring, he became the face in that match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he became the guy. The crowd cheered for him.
Yeah, they were excited about when he did that.
Him. Yeah, they booed him the entire match. When he did that, he was being cheered by the crowd, and then he turned it again, and the crowd turned against him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's an interesting one that Rand had there. Did you see that?
Jack Perry going a retirement match with the American Dragon, All Out 26.
That'd be rough. That'd be rough.
I think Daniel Bryan would just make him look stupid.
Yeah.
You know, because Daniel Bryan, even though Daniel Bryan is at the end of his career, and he's so hurt. I mean, he says in interviews he's living in so much pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even at that, he's better than most people in the ring. You know, better than most. But like I said, with MJF, I don't know where they're going to go with him after this match with Will Ospreay. I don't know. I don't see anybody on the roster currently that you could put him against to kind of save that. I would make MJF go away for at least a month, and then bring him in to a story. Here's the thing: AEW doesn't have any storylines. The last storyline they have was Tony Storm and Mariah May. You know, they don't have any storylines. Yeah, and that ended like drizzling shits. So I think it's going to be hard for them to get any type of credibility behind MJF right now. Because here's the thing with AEW All In as a whole. If you look at each match and the winners of each match, where are the winners going forward? Can you see anybody that won?
Have a solid plan.
Yeah,
they don't have a plan. Like, where are you going after Sunday? Like, at least with
it's literally WCW 2000.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you look at WWE when they come out of their big pay-per-view, which is WrestleMania,
they know what direction they're going immediately.
Right, but
WrestleMania, a year in advance.
Right, but WrestleMania gives you that reset button with knowing where you're going after the reset. With AEW, you have that where, you know, All In happened, and now you're sitting here going, okay, now what? Right, like, where's Hook going? Hook's in an 8-man match. He's in an 8-man match.
Where's Hook going?
Where's Hook going? Rewind. Anywhere he wants.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like, he's in an 8-man match, a Collision this week with Jericho. So like, you didn't end that feud at all. You know. So, and then you have Mariah May beating Toni Storm. Where does she go now? Mercedes Moné beat Britt Baker, which that match was horrible. That match was so bad. Like, I watched that match, and you're watching the match, and you're going, she is raping Tony Khan for a paycheck.
Yeah. Bad.
Just straight out. I mean, it's so obvious. It's not even funny. And like you
That's
said,
some
John, with
Ultimate
her,
Warrior shit.
that's Hulk Hogan shit.
Yeah.
Like it's, she, and I know you love Hulk Hogan. I love Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan was smart with what he did.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mercedes Moné is nowhere near that level.
She's fucking cringe.
Nowhere near.
She is fucking cringe every time. So,
and like her mic skills are mediocre. Her in-ring skills are mediocre. The crowd is just shitting all over her. The crowd wants nothing to do with her. Like the crowd during that match popped for Britt Baker.
mm-hmm.
And here's my thing. You brought back Britt Baker, put her in one of the biggest matches that you could have had at All In. And I would have put that match at a DQ.
Mm-hmm.
I would
keep the
not
feud
have
going for a little bit.
Right. Keep that feud going.
You killed the
it a little
feud
bit more.
immediately.
And you killed Britt Baker's push.
Mm-hmm.
Like Britt Baker doesn't have anywhere. Like where do you go with Britt Baker now?
Well, where do you go? Where do you go with Mercedes too? That's the thing I kind of see from her. It's like, where do you go with her next too? Because they could have drawn this out for a long time. Now, some people love Mercedes, some people don't. I know you guys' opinions on Mercedes now. Let me throw it out to you guys now, and I'll go around for a second. Be honest too. If you're a fan, great. Don't let our opinion sway yours. If you're a fan of somebody, great. But I want to hear who's a fan of Mercedes Moné. Jeremy, welcome. Let me ask you first, Jeremy. Are you a fan of Mercedes Moné? Do you like her work?
No, I don't.
Okay.
To me, she had a little bit more charisma, a little bit more credibility in WWE, which she worked with other women that she came up with. Like the matches that her and Bayley had at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, one of the best women matches I've ever seen. I think we're getting a watered down version of her in AEW.
Yeah, I would agree. When you don't have the machine behind you, it's really hard because WWE's machine can make just about anybody look like a star if they want to get behind you. So good points, Jeremy. What about you, Laza? What do you think? And I'm going to ask Rewind after that. Are you a Mercedes Moné fan right now?
I think the problem with Mercedes is she's becoming cliche.
Okay.
If AEW done what they said they were going to do initially when they started with the ranking system, they could better set up the ranking system where they match make better, where I think now it gets to the stage where the shuffle is all over the place and then like it ends up being cliche and then they'll have like one or two matches but then it lacks luster, and I think that's the problem. Like her whole hype joining AEW sort of fizzled out now, and I think they need to do something where people are interested.
Good point about the
I give her credit, but I think she's just become cliche.
Good point about the ranking system too, because that was like their big deal that they were pushing out for the first year or two, and then they lost it, and then they brought it back for a little bit, and then they've lost it again. That was like this whole thing they were trying to do to separate everybody, to try to make it look like a professional feel, which could have actually added a little element, like Laza said, it could help develop some of these storylines then. But they just forgot about it and just don't use it anymore. So could be a good bridge to tie them back together. Good points there, Laza. What about you, Rewind? Are you a fan of Mercedes Moné, or is she not old enough for you because you like the Cougars?
It's whatever, dude. I'm indifferent. The only real storyline I like in AEW is Toni Storm. The timeless thing, I love that. She's a little young for me, but I still like her, Those shorts, was it Saturday or Sunday night? Those little shorts she was wearing? Perfect. But the match was whatever. And then her match was whatever. I'm indifferent. Take it or leave it. Care less.
Juice Robinson here in the crowd. Thank you, Rewind. Juice Robinson, the storyline that should go with the Billy Gunn retirement. I don't know anything about Juice Robinson and the storyline with Billy Gunn. Rand, I know zero about that. Britt Baker, Charlotte, WrestleMania 42, Sean said. Britt's not a big enough star to me. I can't co-sign on that. What about you guys? What do you think?
WWE would make her a star.
Yeah.
Bigger than what she is. I think if you put Britt Baker in WWE right now, she could be the star in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You put her in there with Charlotte Flair. What's that, Jeremy?
I think it all depends on what Britt Baker you get. The matches that she had with Thunder Rosa, the cage match and the hardcore match where she was like the first woman to bleed on TV.
Okay.
That Britt Baker is over like Rover, but this version now, I don't think so.
I think you have to. She's just coming back from a long hiatus off the screen. I think you have to build her back up with the audience to make her believable again.
Correct.
You know, because she's been off TV for so long. You have to have that buy-in. You know, if you don't have that buy-in, the crowd's not going to believe it.
Right.
You know, I think with the whole Mercedes Moné against Britt Baker thing, I don't think they did it justice at all. I really don't. And then you threw in the girl with Monet. I forget what her name is.
Camille.
You threw Camille in there, and now you're looking at that going, where the hell does she fit in?
Yeah.
You know, because you threw her in and gave no backstory. Like,
Right.
yes, she was a wrestler outside of AEW. But to the casual wrestling fan, they don't know that.
They should have built with Camille off of the fact that she had like a 2-year-long NWA title run. You know, she was a killer over there. But you bring her in as the bodyguard. She's the diesel for, she's like the diesel for Mercedes. Come on.
Here's the thing. Bring her in at All In, causing the
loss.
DQ.
Yeah, DQ loss.
Causing the DQ. Like, you know, bring her in then, and then you can explain her a little bit more. But you kind of threw her in there going, oh, she's the bodyguard now. And you're like, okay, but hold on. Why did Monet need a bodyguard? What is her purpose? How do they know each other? Right. You know, it just, she showed up and you were like, okay, you know, so, but Britt Baker, I wouldn't even put her in NXT. I would push her straight to the main card. Here's what I would do. I would take Britt Baker, put her in the main card, take Jade Cargill, and take her down to NXT. I'm telling you now, Jade Cargill won't be there this time next year.
No,
you don't think so, huh?
No, I don't think so either. They're already saying that.
Yep. I don't think she'll be there next year. I really don't. I don't think she is picking it up like they thought she would. Does she have talent? She does. Does she have athletic ability? She absolutely does. Can she put them together? No.
No, and she can't tell a story either.
No. And if you watch her in the ring, how she sells, she doesn't know how to sell.
No.
What about? Let me ask you guys this about. 'Cause this will be our final topic and question I'll pose to you guys tonight. What about Bryan Danielson? He's got said he's retiring this year by the end of the year. Made a promise to the family. They're really putting this whole thing over. Where do you see Bryan Danielson's last match being, and who's it against that's going to retire him? What do you think, Richie? I'll go with you first on this. Who's going to be the guy that retires Danielson?
Bryan Danielson, I don't think is going to retire. I mean, I think he's going to retire, but I think he's going to come back immediately. He's going to be one of those guys that I don't think he's going to ride off into the sunset. I think he wants it too much, and I think he's going to hold on for a long time. He's probably going to go over to New Japan if I had to guess. But if I were to pick somebody for the perfect booking for him right now, shoot, that's a real hard one because there's not too many guys that you could pair off that have the history like that. But if I'm going with somebody, probably MJF.
All right. MJF retiring Bryan Danielson is going to be the right way, Richie said. What about you, Rewind? I'll go to you next on this. Who do you think should be the one to retire Bryan Danielson?
I think it'll be in Washington. But didn't he say he was going to be part-time after this? I swear that in the press conference.
No, he had said that he wouldn't be against doing backstage roles or working with them in a production capacity or a coach or anything like that. He just doesn't want to wrestle on a weekly basis anymore.
I don't know. MJF maybe. What's Samoa Joe up to right now?
He hasn't been seen since they didn't. I think it was MJF or one of those guys that ended up putting him through the drywall, and he hasn't been seen since or something.
Yeah. I like that.
He's filming Twisted Metal right now.
Okay.
Really, he's in that?
Yeah, he's the villain.
He's the clown. Yeah, he's Sweet Tooth. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to check that out then. I didn't notice that. Okay, so Rewind's going to go with MJF. All right, I'll go next to Jeremy. Jeremy, who's going to be the one that you think should be retiring Bryan Danielson later this year in his final match?
I think maybe at Wrestle Dream you put him with Christian and let him win that match. But I think he retires at Full Gear and he's already had a good match with John Moxley. I would put the title on Claudio. Let Claudio retire. Claudio or Wheeler Yuta. But Claudio would be my pick. Let Claudio be the AEW World Champion.
Why Wheeler Yuta? You think it's because you get the rub from him?
It's like the mentor and the pupil.
Okay.
Because they brought out the toughness of Wheeler Yuta in that group. I think that would make good sense.
Okay. Y2J put him through the wall. That's what happened to him. Rewind. Y2J put him through the wall. So, all right, Laz, I'll go to you next. Who should be Danielson's opponent?
I'm going to pick an interesting one here. Like, if you think about it, they've got similar backgrounds. I'm going to go with Will Ospreay.
Okay.
I think Will Ospreay has been on the rise, similar to when Danielson was American Dragon. They've also had background in Japan when they've toured Japan and whatnot. I think Will Ospreay would be a good one, just due to the style of wrestler they are as well. And I think Will Ospreay would be a good one for American Dragon, Daniel Bryan to make and have as a bigger star. It makes Will Ospreay look more credible if he's showing as he can go with Daniel Bryan if it brings out the best in Ospreay and whatnot.
All right. Great pick, Laza. I like that with Ospreay. Could definitely benefit him well. Thank you, sir. Jude, what about you, man? Who you taking for Danielson? Who's his final guy that beats him?
I have one or two people it could be. I agree with Jeremy. I think John Moxley. Because they're former WWE guys. I think they've had some matches before. They work well together. But I think to maximize on it and to get somebody over as champion, I think Darby Allin.
Oof.
Good pick.
That is a good one.
Interesting.
I think Darby Allin.
Kenny Omega would be a good one too. I just thought of that. Sorry.
I don't think. Here's the thing: if you're going to take the title off of Daniel Bryan and have it as his retirement match, you want to put the title on somebody that's going to benefit from the rub of retiring Daniel Bryan.
Sure.
Kenny Omega doesn't need it.
Right.
And here's the thing: I think Kenny Omega, once he's healthy and can wrestle, he's going to WWE.
I hope so.
I think he needs it.
I think John that last night. Yeah, I hope he does go.
Yeah. But if you're looking for somebody to get a rub, make them a credible champion and make them a credible face for your company, quit putting Sting out there with Darby Allin. Because now retire, man. Yeah, don't do the Flair thing.
When you're putting the shoe polish on your head to cover some shit up, it's time to go.
Well, he just got awarded the awards at Cauliflower Alley,
and it was all gray.
It was all gray, and he looked old. And then he comes out at All In with the shoe polish and the makeup on his face, and it's like, dude, I just saw you yesterday with Lex Luger in his wheelchair, and it looked like you should have been in a wheelchair right beside Lex Luger. Like Sting had no point in being there. But anyway, with Darby Allin, you put him, get Sting away from him. Because Sting is now diminishing Darby Allin.
That's true.
What's that?
I think another guy that it could be a sleeper just because it was brought up in the presser, Zack Sabre Jr. Because dude just won the G1 tournament, and Brian's been clamoring for that match. He would be a great one to retire Danielson.
But to the casual wrestling fan, Zack Sabre Jr. is not that well known.
Yeah.
What
to
about
a casual wrestling fan?
I'll throw a random one out there, and this is just my opinion because I think he's a great monster heel when he turns the heat on. What about a guy like Pac?
Yeah, that would be a good one as well.
I think they would have a monster heel push for him. A great match, and he's an asshole, man. When he's a heel, that guy's a dick. And
Brand agrees with you on it too. He had already said that as well.
Yeah.
He had already said that as well.
That would be a hard hitting match too.
Yeah.
Like
Pac's a good worker, man.
Yeah.
He's a good worker.
He's a great worker. I don't think he's ever got his comeuppance. I don't think he's ever gotten that.
What about Aleister Black?
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Could be an interesting one. I think to me, it's got to make sense if you're going to do this and this guy's going to go out. I mean, he's going out losing. He's not going to get the Sting treatment, in my opinion. It's going to be somebody that they want to give a rub to, and they want to benefit them, and they want to shoot him to the next level of stardom. And it's going to have to be to take the title off of him, of course, too. And I think the only logical thing is, man, everybody's been jumping up and down all year long about their match a few months back. I think it was at Forbidden Door or whatever. I think you got to put Ospreay in there with him. You know, Ospreay's got to be the one to retire him. They had that classic that everybody loved, and I think you got to give it to Ospreay. He's got to be the man to take him out. Get that last match, you know, in with them. Last time you'll ever see it. You saw a classic here. Yeah.
Here's my thing with Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
He is sloppy and dangerous in the ring.
Many times
Daniel
I agree.
Bryan already has neck problems.
Yeah.
You give him that Tiger driver and you do it wrong, you're going to be feeding Daniel Bryan with a straw for the rest of his life.
Yep.
You know, if you look at the way that he dropped MJF on his head during that match,
Mm-hmm.
like, and everybody's like, "Oh, he was really careful." Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it. You know, MJF tucks his head even more whenever he's going down. If he doesn't, he's in the hospital.
He's in the hospital for a long time.
You know, yeah. So, I mean, Will Ospreay would be a great match, but
on paper,
if you look at on paper, it looks good. That's what I was just going to say. In a card, it looks good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at their last match, whenever they wrestled, Ospreay hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he hurt his shoulder in that match. So you put them in a match again like that,
you're gonna have a Rollins Sting moment,
right? Exactly. You know, you're gonna have Daniel Bryan getting hurt. You know, I think you got to put him in his last match to have it to be a good match. You have to put him in a match with somebody that's going to protect him.
Yeah. A good worker.
You know, Will Ospreay reminds me of a very young AJ Styles.
It's a good pickup.
AJ Styles was a very sloppy worker.
Yep.
Whenever he was TNA early years,
Yeah.
he hurt a lot of people, and he went to WWE. He went to WWE, and WWE basically told him, "Hey, we're going to retrain you," and they did. And he was, he was phenomenal. You know. But yeah, I just think you got to put him in the ring with somebody that's going to be safe with him. Now, here's the thing: getting a rub off of beating Daniel Bryan. What about Jack Perry?
That's a good sleeper pick too.
You know, Jack Perry. Even though I don't think I wouldn't, but it's Tony Khan. You know, he could bring Ryback.
You really want to get him over?
Oh God, please no, Ryback. You want to talk about hurting somebody? Good God.
If you really want to get Jack Perry over the next stratosphere, that's a great point right there. Have him retire the beloved, fan favorite Bryan Danielson. Have him just destroy him.
Kill the Yes movement forever.
Yeah, kill it forever, man. Just have him destroy him and just take him out. And then Bryan does not get his flowers going out until later on. Jack beats him. Yeah.
Have him walk up to his kids. Cry me a river.
He'll get finally, like Jude mentioned, I think earlier, you said he's their version of Dominic Mysterio with the heat he gets. He will be close to Dominic level Mysterio for that AEW crowd if he retires Danielson. I really do like that, actually.
He'd be the guy that got rid of CM Punk and the guy that retired Danielson. He got rid of the GOAT, the greatest or best in the world, in the Billy Goat.
Yeah.
Got rid of both of
Billy
them.
Goat.
I would be a fan of that, listening to it. You're watching it. If I saw that, I love it. AEW, feel free. I'm sure you're not listening, but if you are, feel free. You got some great points out here on
another one.
How you can get him out, in a good way and build a
Tony
star.
Tony Khan can't book his show. Let us do it.
Yeah,
we'll do it for you. We'll make it good, guys.
We waste a lot of time on wrestling, fellas. So
yeah.
Right.
Kervin said it earlier, right? Kervin did. And Jeremy, what were you going to say, buddy?
Another one that I would add to it, just because you could go back earlier this year and late last year that they planted the seeds for it. Don't sleep on him having a match with Daniel Garcia, because they had that storyline where he tried to recruit Daniel Garcia to the Combat Club, and go back and watch the match on Dynamite. It was a good match.
Yeah, he's
a
not a
really
bad
good- worker.
worker, but he's
I
not.
mean, take the goofy dancing away. Daniel Garcia is a phenomenal wrestler. He had good work at ROH. I think he would be a good candidate to retire Danielson if it's done right without the goofiness.
I think he'd have to have a bigger name value to me.
You'd have to
Like,
change his whole character if you did that, though.
yeah, and then he's going to be in this feud with it looks like MJF for a little bit at least. So I don't know. I mean, he's definitely got some potential. The crowd likes him too, so I give him that. The crowd definitely enjoys him. But interesting thoughts and discussion tonight, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to close the green room down here in just a second. Jude, Rewind, Laza, Jeremy, everybody else that came out tonight, all you guys that joined us on the round table here, thank you for joining us tonight. All right, so we will see you guys on the next one, right?
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All
Okay,
right.
guys.
See you
All
guys.
right, guys. So I'm going to close
Have a
the
good
green room
trivia next
down,
week, guys.
and we will see you guys back in the chat because we got a fun couple things to talk about and announce before we get out of here tonight. So, all right, guys, I'm going to close that green room down. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, Richie, great show tonight, man. Great perspectives from everybody. I always love hearing everybody's different, perspectives from everything. It's always real nice, man. What did you think about hearing everybody's opinions tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they give me some perspectives that I didn't really think of, especially with that retirement match and stuff. There's a lot of good options that we could go with. And, hey, AEW is still good for the wrestling business. However you feel about it, whatever, it gives us another option to watch and gives people more of a choice and not so bogged down with the WWE stuff. So, AEW, it's not the greatest, but you know what? It's another option to watch, and I got respect for it, so.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, next week we're going to be back, of course, on Tuesday, as we are every Tuesday here. If this is your first time joining us, or you're checking this out, or you're listening to this on the radio, come out and join us right around about 9:15 to 9:30 or so. Every Tuesday we do this on our Facebook and our YouTube, Wrestling with Reality. Come out and join us, and everybody else. We always have a blast for a couple hours. We do this, and it's fun. So come out and join us. And then we're going to do a bonus show next week, Richie. Me and Richie have been talking about doing some interviews for a while. We haven't done any in a long time. It's been a little hot minute for me. I know it's been a long while for you. So we've been discussing doing some interviews, and I think we nailed down a really fun interview for next week. What do you think?
It's not one that you would think of, but he's a really entertaining guy. He's really cool. He was paired up with a legendary wrestler in his own right, especially in Mexico right now. So I think it's really cool, man. And not to mention his life journey that he's going through right now and wrestling school and different things he's starting. I think it'll be a great interview for people to tune into, man. You definitely nailed a good one down.
Should we mention who they are now?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, why not? So we are going to have, he is a former manager of a WWE champion. He is an in-ring worker as well. He's worked all around the world, whether it be AAA, CMLL, a million promotions overseas. He's worked in AEW. He's worked in TNA. He's worked a little everywhere. And he's most well known for being the manager for the one and only Alberto Del Rio. I can't roll my tongue. Can you?
Yeah, when I hang around Mexicans, I can do it real well.
Can you give us a Del Rio?
Not right now, I can't.
Yes. Well, he was
COVID
the
Rich is
manager.
not banging on that tonight.
Yeah, he was the manager of Alberto Del Rio. He works for MLW right now. He's got his own wrestling school. Ricardo Rodriguez, Jesus Rodriguez is his real name that he goes by, but he is going to join us next Wednesday night. We already have set everything up with him. So I'm looking forward to that interview, man. He's got a great story of recovery, and beating his demons and, just a lot of things.
It'll be about an hour and a half later than what we normally do. It'll be about 7:30 my time out here in Arizona. I'm not really sure what that is.
We're going to be doing it next week at about 10:30 on next Wednesday. So
Right.
10:30 next Wednesday, we're going to do it with him is what we have set up for right now. And we're probably going to stream it live too. So he runs the
questions
wrestling.
ready. Even if we don't stream it live, send us your questions and stuff. If you want to know something from the guy about his life, about wrestling, whatever, send them in, and we'll definitely make sure to fit some of those questions in there. So.
Yeah, and we're gonna, as long as it's okay with him, we'll open it up at the end. Maybe bring a couple of questions on if you got one for him at the end, as long as he's cool with it. We'll ask him next week when we do it. But I wanted to get Ricardo on for a while, man, because I really like his story of redemption and how he's coming back from everything. And I've always been enamored by Alberto Del Rio. I'd love to hear some stories about it. And Ricardo's worked all around the freaking world, man. And he's been trained by some pretty legendary people and is very well respected. Currently works in MLW. looking forward to discussing his career, his comeback, and what he's doing now. And I think it's going to be a fun win-win. And Richie and I have talked about probably doing an interview maybe every 6 to 8 weeks is kind of what we were looking at, right?
Yeah. We'll put it in there. That way you guys get a double dose. We'll do a Tuesday, and then if we nail them down on a Wednesday or something like that, it'd be cool. So.
Yep, 100%. I don't know if we're going to do trivia next week, Jeremy. We might do it in a week or so after. We haven't decided yet, so we'll let you guys know on the topic later. We'll kind of wrap around it. We're going to get back to trivia in a little bit. I think the next one we might do for a game night that we're going to do is the entrance music one we talked about first.
That's going to be a banger, bro.
That'll probably be about 2 weeks from today. We'll do that, and I think we'll probably get to some WCW a few weeks after that we can do, but we'll find a good topic to narrow it down for later on in the week. Something will come to us for sure. It always does. Yep. So any closing thoughts, Richie? We got to get out of here and wrap up tonight.
Yeah, man, I appreciate everybody being patient with me. I know I'm sick right now. I probably sounded like shit, but I didn't want to miss this for the world. This is my favorite night of the week. So glad to be here with you guys. Thank you for understanding. And man, we got a lot of exciting stuff. That Ricardo Rodriguez interview is going to be awesome, and it's a sleeper, man. So let's do that. And we're going to keep the show rolling. We're going to have Look at the new hat the Johnny Podcast is pulling out. It's the new merch. We're gonna get that stuff rolling here soon. If you guys want to get in on it and kind of symbolize that we're a group now, wear our stuff, and be fun, man. We got a lot of stuff down the pipe for you guys. Great shows, and you guys keep turning out, and I appreciate it. See you down the road.
Yeah, we'll have the merch up real soon, guys. So this is one of the hats that we got. Derek's going to be getting one of these for winning his round last week in trivia, but we're going to get some set up here very shortly, some shirts, some cool stuff. So we got to rock it out. Richie's got his coming as well. So it's going to be fun. We look forward to a lot of stuff in the future. Jude says, look forward to it every Tuesday. Love talking with you guys. Thanks, buddy. Man. Rewind says, hey, congratulations on 1,000 subs on YouTube. Good show. Thanks, guys.
Buddy. Finally. Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that earlier. We hit, I think we're at like 1,003 subscribers. We finally beat that, and we're just about ready to monetize over there finally for super chats and stuff. Yes. And we're almost there for in-service ads. So that's thanks to every one of you guys out there. Yeah, so man, we really do appreciate it. And thanks for everybody that's checking it out. Do a rewind trivia night. Yeah, dude, rewind trivia would be fun.
Oh, God. Oh my God! You gotta listen to that episode, and we would do trivia off of that.
You sure do. Jeremy says fun time every week. Absolutely. Well, everybody, thanks for coming out. As always, we'll be back again next week. Lots more stuff. Check out the page here on Facebook, Wrestling with Reality. It'll change over, hopefully, in the name rather soon. But it's got our old name up there in the meantime. But we're always putting stuff up there every day. So please come on out to the page and check it out in between our weekly streams. And we got the radio every Saturday and Sunday. Lots of stuff going on always. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you again next week live right here on Wrestling with Reality.